Hey man, that wasn't my responsibility.
I think it was.
Nope, I published one and then the image overlay.
Echo check.
None.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Dice. My name is Matt, and I'm Dungeon Master here, and welcome to our Tuesday night campaign known as the Castaways.
Meh.
How's everyone doing
Bad name.
tonight?
Castaways.
I still don't like that name.
We are castaways.
Ain't even that
Listen.
I
bad.
love it. I think it's perfect.
It
It's
fits. It fits so perfectly.
It's the availability heuristic. You know, first answer is right answer.
Exactly.
So that's what you did the echo check for, because you're both trying to use your headsets?
No.
We
Listening through our
We're
headsets,
listening through
but
our
we're
headsets,
both
but we're
speaking through the same
both
mic.
speaking through the same mic.
so she was getting
You guys are
echo. I think it
echoing.
might have just been
One of you needs to be muted, I think.
Yeah, I
if I'm
think
not
one of you
mistaken.
needs to mute each other.
That's what we were testing, and we didn't solve it, but we're fixing it now.
Secure mute.
All right, that should be good to go.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. I know why.
There's no echo now.
Quality
so-
production. Absolute quality production, guys. We are running a tight ship here.
Hey, we never claimed to be professionals.
We are professionals. This is how it's done in the industry. If you're not running a stream like this, you're not running a quality stream. Sorry.
Yeah,
So-
we had 30 minutes of severe technical issues, which were circumvented just by raw cash. We just used the dollars in our hands to spend for
Absolutely.
more
Yep.
Wi-Fi.
The hundreds and thousands of dollars that we have in reserve to tackle such
Yes.
issues.
We flew in Obama, and
Yep.
Obama fixed this for us.
Yeah, I mean, this is Twitch, so we just
Okay.
messaged Bezos and was like, "Hey, dude, fix this."
Yeah,
And he did.
I mean,
He got
it
his
was an
little-
offer he
Got his
couldn't
little wizard
refuse.
out of it. Yeah, absolutely not. No.
I'm not gonna
Back to
solve
the topic
that.
though. Geez, yeah, it's Tuesday. I think I'm doing fine. It's only Tuesday. That sucks.
But
Don't
on the
say-
same
don't
coin,
say that.
it's Tuesday, which means D&D night.
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
So, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's session, guys.
Oh no.
Because we're already, 30 minutes behind. So, last together, we watched as the Castaways formulated their plan to approach and question the leaders of Trasana. Before leaving, they beseeched Freya, aka Gran, as the leader of the Druids
Absolutely.
to aid them in their fight. She revealed that the leader of the village, Kythos, forbade it, and that any further attacks upon Trasana would be met with a swift and harsh punishment. You came to find out that this ruling came after he lost his own son whenever the villagers of Trasana murdered him. He formulated a war band to march against Trasana, where many families lost their sons, their brothers, their fathers. The party decided to approach Kythos and try to sway him into sending warriors with them to aid in their fight, to force Trasana's hand and pay for their crimes. Fane continued to berate Kythos, calling him a coward, a fool, a poor leader. But Kythos stood his ground, insisting that there would be no more bloodshed on his watch. As the party stormed away, disgusted at what they had found with this war-torn leader, they decided to formulate a new plan. They would try and sneak their shipmates out of Trasana and lead them safe to the safe haven that they have found here in Singara, a family that they have found. They braved the mighty raging waters of the Falmouth Canal, narrowly making it out, just a little tired after swimming through it. While sitting on the banks on the opposite side of the river, still trying to catch their breath, a few individuals caught sight of a small smoke trail raising from the distance, just on the forest edge. As you all slowly approached, you found a familiar sight of Aragod, the human hunter that you had all came to know, a simpleton that led you through the forests. He was talking with a human woman and some sort of massive hulking creature that you guys could barely see on the outskirts of the shadows, beyond your dark vision. As you crept closer and the figure came into view, you saw the massive 10-foot-tall Hell Orc standing amongst them. But just as you guys came into view, the Orc noticed you, and he let out a billowing, screeching roar, and as he drew his bone sword, he went crying after all of you. The three of them were no match for our heroes, though, as they made quick work, leaving only but Aragod alive, as Kothar tore apart the monk, turning bits and pieces of her bones into darts. Looking through the things that Aragod had on him, Makari found a set of Fletcher's tools, arrowheads, feathers for fletching, and he reasoned that these are very similar, if not the exact same ones that were used and found in the bodies of Kothar's dead shipmates. The party interrogated and tortured Aragod to get what little information they could before Kothar reached in and ripped out his jugular with his bare teeth. We find the five of you now sitting with Aragod's dead body bleeding out below you in this makeshift campsite where you can see they have been ever so slowly cutting down this section of the forest.
DM, quick fact check before we get into being back in character.
Yep.
The fletching of Aragod's arrows here. I remember when we first met, I inspected his fletching.
You inspected
So-
the ones you had on him at that time.
Right. So I kind of wanted to get a better clarified sense of what I think is going on here. Does it look like he's swapped out his kit, or does it look like he has?
He keeps tools on him to make two different types of arrows, it seems. Ones that are a little more
Got it.
crude, a little more swiftly, not so delicately made.
Gotcha. He's playing a double agent game. I get it.
Did we get a long rest?
You have not gotten a long rest yet.
Not yet.
So that's it seems like that would be first on the docket.
Yeah, it is like I think it's like early morning.
It
Is it
is
not? Like
fairly
stupid
early in the
early, like
morning,
still
yes.
dark.
Yeah, we were traveling.
Oh, it's early in the morning.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
we
we're-
traveled at
it's
night, so
fine.
it's like
We're
what,
talking like
3
2 a.m., extremely early.
Yeah.
So we still have a couple hours of travel and then a rest, and then probably getting into them guts.
Potentially, yeah.
Actually, my
Um,
suggestion would be let's make this place look like still occupied and see if anyone else comes while we try to accomplish a rest.
Yeah, I mean that might work.
That's-
It's
That's no
essentially
terrible idea.
setting a trap for any late arrivals.
Zanita, what do you think?
I think there's merit to both. Mhm.
I don't mind setting a bit of an ambush while we rest, but we need to make sure we aren't traveling in the daytime, or at least not in the broad daylight.
I'd agree with that one. Cheetah, how are you feeling?
Certainly been better.
Oh, that's right.
Uh,
You went all crazy, didn't you? I forgot about that.
I would assume that I found some sort of like water or
I mean, yeah, there was
some mechanism of like cleaning myself up.
there was a small stream that you guys had passed when you made your way into this campsite, so you could make your way
Mhm.
back to it and clean yourself.
Yeah, I
up.
know we were like hiding in the woods a minute ago, so
Yeah.
I don't mean to ask too much, but if you have, the time and energy before we rest, could you take a look at this and I'll present her the giant bone sword that we took off of that guy?
Right.
Mhm. I will identify.
Okay. You take
By
the
giant bone sword, it's a weapon, not a part of the orc, correct?
yes.
Oh, that would have been so cool though.
Just checking.
Just a sword sticking out.
Yeah,
Dope.
Don't think that's what he was
that's
going
what I
for.
meant. So- You're so pure.
You take the 10 minutes to ritual cast identify, and what comes back to you is the bone cleaver.
Give me a second. I got it. I got it. Alrighty. A sword made of jagged alabaster white bone crafted by a man known as the Bonesmith, deep within the 9 layers of hell. This massive cleaver is stained by the blood of its enemies. As a replacement of your attack, you may use the sword's cleave ability. Using this ability leaves you vulnerable to attacks, lowering your AC by 2 until the start of your next turn. Cleave. When using this ability, every creature within 5 feet of you must make a dex saving throw. DC is calculated by 8 plus strength mod plus proficiency mod. If you're proficient with great swords, you have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon.
DM, I'm assuming that does the great sword's damage.
It is.
Then.
Yeah, it's already
Okay.
coded as a greatsword.
Well, if no one has any particular use for it, I think I could probably make good this great sword.
I don't even think I could pick it
That
up.
makes-
You cut out Fang.
So the dick jokes will end here. I apologize. Yes, of course, I just for you.
wanted to make sure. I mean, you're kind of a, I mean, you're a fit guy. Didn't know if you wanted it or not, but I appreciate it.
I could carry it, but speed is more my method, if you will. Zamira, do you have a need for a massive bone sword? Well, obviously you do, but sorry, I said no more dick jokes, but
One more dick joke. Always one more.
one more dick joke. Okay, I don't think Zamira wants the bone. Kothar, all you.
Thank you.
I will just do what I can to tidy up the camp, make it look like there wasn't a fight here. I don't really think we did much property damage, but
Not much property damage, just lots of blood and gore everywhere.
yeah, just gonna cover it up with dirt here and there, fetch the arrows that missed and hit and all that garbage, and
Sure. Just make a performance check for me.
performance. Oh, my
While he does
brain.
that,
That's all I do.
Well, 10?
You think it's mostly covered and cleaned up.
Sure.
can I kind of do what I can to make it safe where we are and then make a meal for all of us?
Sure. It's easy enough.
No meat, though.
No meat. Understood.
Of course. Why would there be?
Understandable tonight.
Y'all come deal with it.
So you begin to tidy up the camp while Kidai slowly begins to kind of gather her things and prepare a meal for all of you. You guys sit down, have a nice meal. What are you doing?
I am going to, as an action, expend a spell slot and use primeval awareness to detect whether there are aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead present within 1 mile of me.
One more time, sorry.
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
Within 1 mile.
Yeah.
There is a fiend within 1 mile.
It's not Kothar, is it?
Not Kothar.
All
Hey,
right.
baby.
Sick. I will just keep that noted. I don't get a location or anything like that. Actually, I should have said it doesn't reveal creature's location or number. So I know there's a fiend, or fiends. I will relay that to the group, and we will start trying to get a long rest? Question mark.
If there is a fiend, can we not go hunt?
I don't have a precise location. I'm just aware of its.
We
Being-
could yell really loud.
I'm not sure it's really wise to attract that kind of attention. If they're looking for trouble, they'll find us.
There. For all we know, they already have a great idea of where we are and what we've done. So
There was a bellowing roar from this chap.
There it was.
Well, if they do come, they won't know what hit them.
Okay, so
Probably Kothar.
you guys had mentioned that you were going to try and set an ambush, but you've also mentioned you were going to rest. Can't do both, so what's the plan?
It wasn't necessarily an ambush. It was just tidy up the camp and then rest somewhere so that we have eyes on the camp.
Gotcha, okay. So you're not resting in camp, just near it.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys are sitting down for your watch, or who's taking the first watch for you guys' rest throughout the night? The rest of the morning, I should say.
I will do
still
sentry's
pretty
rest.
shaken up. I'll stay awake for a bit.
Okay. So
I will theoretically be on all three for sentry's rest.
Yes. The other three of you bed down for the night in a small bit of brush on the outskirts of this camp, kind of keeping look over the small little almost tree harvesting area they have set up here. Go ahead and make your perception checks for me.
I don't know why I completely forgot that it comes with a perception check. Oh, that's rough.
20
Natural 1.
21.
As you
Natural
guys,
Sorry.
natural 1, got it. As you watch as your friends lay down for the night, Kidai, you're almost a little. You're still shook. You're still freaked out, and your mind is just not there. So you're a little distracted, and you're not really keeping watch tonight. But Akari, while you're sitting and you're keeping watch over this camp, varying bits of midnight creatures come prowling through the camp. You watch as a few panthers come prowling through at the scent of the fresh blood, start smelling around. There's little to no bodies left, thanks to Kothar, what was left of the monk. But they do smell around and kind of make their way throughout to the camp.
Make the way.
And unless you do something to them, they leave undisturbed.
Nope. We Gucci.
The night continues onward into the later early morning hours as the sun begins to crest on the outward side of the northern reaches of the mountains. Who's getting up for second watch?
I will do it. Oh, Kothar, go ahead.
You can have third watch, you know? It's the best watch.
I guess it just means that your night of sleep is over.
For now. 25 perception.
And also, feel free to interject if you guys have anything you want to talk about in this time. So you allow Kidai to go get what little rest she can after her long day. You sit down and begin to keep watch over the camp with... Actually, no, you wouldn't have dark vision. The sun's starting to come. Or you wouldn't need to have your dark vision because the sun's starting to come up, so you're good. You can hear the whistling and chirping of the birds off in the distance as the morning hours begin to take. You can hear a bit of rustling in the branches off in the distance. It's hard to tell what it is, but knowing how close you guys are to Tristana and knowing their patterns from what you've seen, they hunt in the early morning hours. That is the same time of the day that they met you outside of Tristana when you guys first encountered them.
Do I need a perception check, or is that good to go?
You guys tell me. I mean, if he's waking you guys up to do anything, or unless you're staying.
So, but that's there's no like I don't
Still in
need
the middle
to.
of second watch.
Yeah, that's still
Oh, in the
second
middle of
watch.
second watch. I'm sorry, I'm confused.
That's okay.
Hikari, what do you make of it?
How do you mean?
Do you think we should like investigate, wake the rest up, and see what's going on, or just kind of let it be?
I think we're fine where we're at. That's probably the usual hunting parties. If they stumble across the camp and look like they have intent or reason to be there, then that helps answer more of our questions and completes the goal of all this. If they stumble across the camp and don't know what to make of it, then the opposite. I don't think everybody in Tristana is culpable. He swapped out his kit. It was... Well, we didn't do it in the Honoré, but we were trained at any time that we needed to swap out our kit if we wanted to, per se, ghost evidence. That very much strikes me as what Aragod was doing for whoever it was that he's serving. We got a name. I don't think I wrote it down.
Udelafon.
We got a name of that guy. Udelafon? Yeah, I'm not
Udelafon.
pronouncing it.
Shaka Dudu, I believe, was the name for the demon lord.
What'd you say?
Shaka Dudu.
Oh, okay.
It's canon now.
I don't know.
Uh,
I will... Sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as this happens and I finish up my brief conversation with Hikari, I'll just get poised in case I need to wake everyone up. But wait.
Quick timey-wimey thing, because, watches are weird. Before the sun starts to rise, at the end of the beginning of second watch here, I will kind of say, hey, Kothar,
Yeah.
do you really believe all that things that I read? As I look up at the stars. I mean, they told me I fell from the sky, but it could just be a good fairy tale.
I think you're certainly tough enough to survive a fall like that.
I appreciate that.
But I don't know. I've never been one for, magic or anything like that. I prefer believing in what's in my own two hands, But even then, I think there's something to be said about it lining up just a little too well to be mere coincidence.
Maybe it's just like a sea, but a different kind of sea.
Who knows?
I suppose whoever or whatever I was did. That's all.
Okay. That brings us to the end of second watch. Fane, you're taking up fourth or third, sorry.
Correct.
Watch.
I'll take it with him.
Okay. So, Kothar,
Um,
you awake the last two of your party and lay down to get the last bit of rest you need. It's hard. You're still have a bit of rage billowing in you from the information that you've just found out, but eventually you do fall asleep. Two of you, go ahead and roll perception checks for me.
I'd just like to say, I imagine Kothar snores like a fucking tank.
The 19 for me.
20's the same.
What was
You
that,
did roll
Fane?
persuasion, not a perception, Fane. Just so you know.
It's the same. It's the same modifier.
Oh, okay. 19 and a 20 from them.
Gotcha.
I'm still on a 21, I think, if I recall.
Yep. So, as the three of you are sitting here watching, as Kothar has, I assume you informed them of what you heard of the hunters.
Mhm. Sure did.
You guys watch as a human and a halfling break through the edges of the forest on the opposite side of you guys. They look confused, almost not expecting this. They begin searching throughout the small little camp here. They make their way over to the tent first, looking at the
Okay.
smoldering bits of the campfire that used to be there. You can hear them mumbling, but it's hard to understand what they say from this distance. And then they start to the halfling one looks a little more, gets down, starts looking across the trails, across the small bits of the forest floor here, and makes his way over to where the monk was dismembered. Starts pushing away the brush and the trees and everything that was used to cover it, and looking across the blood across the ground. And remind me, you did take the robe, correct? So it was not there?
We did,
Yeah,
I think.
the robe was taken.
Now that they are a bit closer, you can hear the little halfling men say, "Elijah, what do you make of this? Looks as if something was obliterated." He looks down. I don't know. I didn't know we were harvesting so close to home. I assumed we were still taking from the southern reaches of the forest.
Those fucking rat bastards.
We should report this to Geoffroy and let him know what we found.
I look at Akari dead in the eyes and I say, "Now we know."
Wait, run that in my mind again.
Yeah,
DM. You said
please.
harvesting?
Harvesting, yes.
And go back to Gifroy.
Well, yeah. What is
Harvesting the
harvesting? Well,
trees.
the trees. Yeah, they thought they were harvesting to the south, right?
That is what he
That's all,
said.
that's all he said was harvesting, and we got to tell Githroy.
I'm confused what you mean by that answers our question, Hex. Sorry.
They saw the body and said harvesting. It's not a clearing where they've cut trees. This is the only thing in this clearing is a camp and a body that's been ripped to shreds.
No, there are logs
And
everywhere in this camp.
Theater of the mind, baby. Did not see that.
Sorry, I had it across all over the battle map from last session, and
Oh.
yeah, so there were bits of broken up logs all across the tent from last session, and small little like tree stumps pocketing throughout the battle map.
Real quick, DM. I know we're timey-wimey theater of mind shit here, but we're trying to get a clearer picture. If I recall, geez, somebody, I think probably grabbed a bucket or something and like washed away the rune on the inside of the tent or something like that.
You guys kicked like dirt over it, and like you messed
Yeah.
it
No,
up. So
Zamira
nothing...
washed away the pentagram.
Right, yeah. You guys destroyed the pentagram, so nothing was left.
Did they have any sort of reaction to equipment they found, or that, if they found any bits of that?
They peered inside the tent. Doesn't look like they really took any second look at anything in there. Didn't, because I mean, you guys didn't really leave anything in there because you destroyed the pentagram, so there wasn't much for them to look at.
Yeah.
You guys took all of Aragod's supplies, and then I assume hid the body as well as the orc's body, burned them, hid them, whatever you did with it. Whenever you said you cleaned up the camp, but the only thing that was left was the blood stains across the ground, and the ones that they found were of the monk, and there was just not enough there for, at least from what they said, for them to tell what it was.
Okay.
Can I guess I'm sorry. I'm really trying to make sure we get all the facts straight
No,
here.
you're
Can I
fine.
insight check these two? See if they weren't expecting this camp here,
Sure,
but they're
roll an
starting to
insight
put the
check.
pieces together that it was some of their people.
Sure, roll an insight check.
I'm not really sure what it means, like what their dialogue is, the way it's being said. Insight, shit. +2, 17.
They don't appear as if they were expecting this to be here. When they exited the forest, they definitely looked confused and bewildered to see something like this happening close to Tressana. And from what they said, that they were only aware of tree harvesting happening south in the southern reaches of the forest.
I take it back. Everything I said.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's a valid question, and I wanted to make sure we were all getting a clear picture of what had transpired, because for a while there I was confused and I didn't know about the logs on the ground either. So this is this is game shaping stuff. So I wanted to get it right.
That's my fault. I should have reminded you guys.
So that's fine. I was on the same page as Hex too. I was like, damn.
Yep. For a minute there, I was like, oh, they're all evil then. But okay, never mind.
So I will take it back, and I will say to Akari, I say, and Zamira, and I will say, I think we observe, but I don't think we do anything about this.
No, we do nothing. If they're gonna report it to Gilfoy, we can see what Gilfoy makes of it. We just need to suss out who is culpable and who isn't. There will be plenty of scouts like Elijah and whoever the hell else this other person is. The person who spoke, one was a halfling and you said one was a human male.
Yep.
Which one referred to the other as Elijah? So which one would be like
The
which
human
race?
was Elijah.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're same game plan. We're just gonna go present them with stuff and see how they react, and then we can suss out who's culpable in this.
I think we need to follow them and see what they report exactly.
I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think we risk exposing ourselves and casting suspicion on ourselves for only what they see here.
We don't know what they've seen or what they're going back to report.
Do we?
I'm curious as to what they think about the other things they might play and said.
Do you want me to make sure I can track them? See where they go. We could always follow their trail. Maybe they don't head straight back to Tressana.
I want to be able to hear what they say. not just where they go.
There is no way for us to hear what they say without being there
Yeah.
with them.
As
and
a
being-
group stalking them, we're gonna get discovered for sure. I wish I want to hear what they say too, but
As it is a good idea, but in a perfect world we could listen, but we can't do it without significant.
they're cutting out. But DM, I will. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on Elijah.
Read me Hunter's Mark. Does he know you cast it?
Nope. You choose a creature with it. You can see within range and mystically mark it as your quarry. Until the spell ends, you do extra damage, yada yada, and you have advantage on any wisdom or survival check. If the target drops to 0 hit points, yada yada yada. If I cast it at a higher level, I could maintain it for 24 hours, but 8's more than enough.
Okay.
And it's a casting Hunter's Mark is a verbal component, so I'll just whisper, and we're good.
Got it.
Doesn't one of you have listening earrings? Could we throw one of those at them?
And here's his ear.
Does it
From
be
60 feet away.
on the ear for
Oh.
I don't know if that's cool. Kobe. And it's only got like 120 foot range too, so we'd still have to follow him.
We
You know,
can-
getting discovered.
so not let me just get this straight. So we go talk with them, pierce their ears, give them an earring, and then stay 120 feet away from them.
We could slip it in one of their pockets.
We're not doing it.
We still have to be close, but I don't think it's wise. I appreciate the intention, but I think we will have to. I don't think this is an avenue we can pursue.
I think for the moment we do nothing. If we're discovered in this location, then we implicate ourselves.
I think we keep that in our back pocket, though. That's not a bad idea.
It is a good idea. We should use it somewhere in the future. I'm a big fan.
Do the earrings I'm sending? Do you have to intentionally be doing it, or is it?
Yeah, you have to intentionally.
Can you like?
It
Yeah, you can send. Whoever is wearing one can send messages. It's not like an open channel.
yeah, it's not.
Can we
always
trade those
listening.
in for walkie-talkie earrings?
No.
With open hot mics.
I want the hot mic golden earrings, the hot boy hot mic golden earrings.
Hot boy.
Hot boy
No.
golden earrings.
Okay. I think we do nothing. I can follow their trail, see if they deviate, see if they've got some camp like this one set up, or if they just do their hunting. I can, when we're done with the rest, I can track them, see everywhere they've been.
Fine just nods.
And I guess DM eventually they end up leaving,
Yes.
moving on. Once the threat is abated, I will say, Fane, you asked me. Concentrate. You hear it?
Yeah.
I will
Vaguely.
turn off the shroud for my scanning in Sentry's Rest for Fane. And as you kind of sit there and you listen to the shaking and movement of the trees and the slight wind, you start to pick up on a pattern every time that Akare's like little scan goes through. There's a quiet moment when the wind and the trees settle for just a moment. If the wind shifts, if an animal cries, there's a woo in response. Kind of concentrating on those subtle moments, the silence of the woods, where that's when you pick up, without your eyes, if you need to, what is out there, if anything. Trying to teach you to use your ears, since you're the only one who can see in the dark. Actually, that's right.
Uh-huh. I think it's technically kind of light, but I will sort of sit, and I will try to ping, like, wait for the wombs, and then as like the wombs start, I will just try to like pick out the breaks in the pattern, the wombs. As the wombs start, and birth is given, I will just sort of try and pick out the pattern that he's recognizing.
Okay.
No. Yeah. All right, DM, go on.
Roll a perception check.
Roll a whom check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom, check.
That's another 20.
Nice.
It's easy enough for you to do.
After a while, I reactivate the shroud. Sorry, I think I just earlier said a Fane, but I meant Fane and Zamiros. I will reactivate the shroud in Fane and Zamiros for the scan. I'll say, now you call. What moments do you hear?
I will sit and I will close my eyes and I will listen. And I will say, well, what do I hear, DM? Am I picking up the movement of the forest, or am I just hearing the sounds, the obvious sounds?
With that same roll, because it's kind of within the same instance, you can hear the sounds of the forest, the brushing of the wind as it kind of rushes in between the varying trees. You can hear the leaves as they kind of move with the wind. You can hear the birds chirping in these early morning hours. You can hear the forest life as they begin running. You can hear the breaking of twigs off in the distance.
Recognize the pieces and I just sort of mumble them, just sort of as I listen, in sort of like a meditative state. I just will say, bird calls and a small creature moving, getting quieter, moving away.
You're a quick learner.
Hmm.
I suggest you
Well,
keep at it.
while I sit here and listen to him, I'm just gonna take a deep breath, and then with the kind of wind tendrils that accompany me anyways, they're just gonna pick up a little bit, and leaves are gonna go in a circle around me, and I'm gonna cast levitate on myself and meditate up while the wind and the leaves are circling around me, and just deep breathing, listening.
Okay.
And you have to learn to block out some transient noises. But I do suggest you keep at it. You're a quick study. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be that easy for you. But give it time and you'll hear there's a presence always when nature is heavy. You'll hear pathways. There is guidance. It's not just plants responding to wind. There's a message. That's all. He asked. You're breaking up. We'll have to revisit.
We're breaking up?
Yeah.
That's not us.
So
I just nod and sort of continue listening and say, thank you.
That's all I had for third rest or third watch anyway.
With that, that brings our third watch to a close, and you
We
all
have-
achieve your
I'm
long
sorry,
rest.
DM. I have
Go ahead.
one quick thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I have one just small thing. Before the before like maybe like 15 minutes before the rest ends, I will go and I will sit next to Hidai, and I will sort of nudge her awake.
Hello?
Hello. No, it's just me. Good morning. Or good evening, I guess.
Oh, some of both. What's up?
Some of both. I just wanted to tell you something. It seemed like last night was a little traumatic for you, and I don't know what is going on, but I will just say that Kidai, we're all monsters a little bit, and especially. Well, I just want you to know that you shouldn't worry, and whatever it is, I don't think any of us are going to judge you.
That means a lot to me, actually. I'm not sure I'm processed all the way through it myself, so I don't want anyone else to see me any differently, of course. And last night was just a fucking episode.
Oh, it really was. That was a sight. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can't really remember much of it, but I do know what happened, like almost experiencing it from a third person. How are the antlers? Are they stained? My antlers?
Are you asking me or him?
Him.
I will sort of lean in and pull a small bit of skin that is like a bit of gristle that is sort of yank it off and I say, "Oh, they're fine," and I'll kind of throw it aside without her noticing. Great.
Oh,
Thank you. No, I wasn't expecting that. I've been fighting this whole time since before I met you all, and I didn't know it could take me over like that. So that's something I'm going to have to be careful about until I can fix. But thank you. That means a lot to me.
You're welcome. I just wanted you to know specifically. It's up to you to decide if it's a problem. I mean, it's up to all of us to decide if our demons are problems or not. While you do decide, I think we're with you.
Well, thank you. To me, eating people is a problem. Yes. I would like to fix that. I would like to get rid of that as soon as possible. It also hurts very badly all the time. I mean, imagine going so hungry your entire life, but you could never starve to death. That's what this feels like. I can eat and eat and eat, but yesterday was the first time I've felt satisfied since this happened to me. So if I can
Then I'll
lift
just
this,
nod and sort of give her a pat and there was a bit of cutting out, I'm sorry, but Fane will just sort of nod and offer, congenial words of support.
well, thank you.
easy enough to do. So, you guys now all awake with your long rest, and apparently something's hilarious.
Did I do something wrong?
No, it's. I winked at him. Don't worry.
Oh,
Totally what he did.
just
Totally.
get married about it then. Gosh.
Hey man, it's legal in a lot of states. All states? I don't actually know.
All.
Nice.
It's June, Aiden.
I'll be honest. I think people should just be left to do whatever the fuck they want. I don't consider it
Let's
ever
not get
be a
into
legal
it on
problem in the first
stream,
place.
but
No, I know.
But it's June, so if you
It's not that I don't
inconvenience
care.
the-
I just everybody should be able to do it. So
Yeah.
I assumed
Agreed.
it was just a thing.
all right. So you guys have awakened, gotten your long rests, attuned to your new items. I assumed.
Yes.
Mhm.
Please.
The sword does not require attunement, by the way, Zach.
Oh, okay. It has an attunement on it.
But a sword, I left that off. Okay. It does not have
But it-
one.
Okay. I will technically unattune to it then.
Question for posterity's sake, and because I figure it's worth asking. Which side of the long rest did that hunter's mark fall on?
That was the very end. Like, the very end of the second watch, so... How long does Hunter's Mark last?
8 hours.
So you've got 3 hours left, 4 hours left, maybe.
Oh no, I meant am I down a first level slot or not?
Oh.
That's what I was asking. I leave that up to you. I mean,
You take 6 hours for yours, correct?
oh, let me go look. Racial
believe-
privilege.
Yeah, and that would have been at the
I do.
beginning of the third watch.
Yeah, so you would be down 1 spell slot.
Cool. Just wanted to be honest.
Yep.
Okay. I will try to pick up their trail, just to, in case the party wants to retrace their steps. There's a pretty high chance that I can do it.
Make a survival check at advantage because of your hunter's mark.
Yep.
Which one did you mark, by the way? Was it the halfling or the human?
I marked Elijah, which I think was the human. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
It's a 19 plus survival, 24.
You easy enough find the sets of their tracks leading almost northeast up around towards the maybe just north of Tressana is the way from the path that they're going.
So I don't reason it's a direct path to Tersana.
It's not a direct path.
Okay. I will share that with the group, and I guess as we're setting out, we need to decide how we're doing it. Are we retracing their steps? Are we going to Tersana proper?
Oh, yeah. So you said they were heading towards Tressana, though.
They were heading towards Tersana, just a little bit north of it, though. So they're making a stop somewhere, I assume. Or finishing their route or whatever.
I mean, the entrance is on the north side, isn't it? So, I mean, they could just be heading to the front.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it is on the north side.
You're correct.
Yeah, if anyone has any objections, speak up. But I think, for posterity's sake, we follow them exactly as they went. On the off chance they stop somewhere that's not Tressana.
Okay. I will start to lead the party along the route of Elijah and the halfling.
Okay. Go
And
ahead.
if I need to roll subsequent survival checks, let me know.
Roll a d20 for me.
That's ominous. Oh, because we're traveling. That's right.
Hello?
4.
A 4. Okay.
Yep. Where'd I put my pen? There it is. Rocks fall, everybody dies.
Ah, fuck. Kothar's too thick for that shit.
You've rolled a 4 before. You should know what it is.
Oh, I assume it's dragon feeding time. It's fine.
We're in a heavy forest.
Yeah, we're fine.
In a almost familiar sense that has haunted you guys in the last few days, that billowing roar lets out from the direction of Zeltroy's mountain.
Pass without a trace in the party.
Everybody make stealth checks for me.
For the record, DM, I'm not stopping moving.
That's
It's like
fine.
we have decent tree cover, right?
You do have fairly decent tree cover. This area of this forest is very thick here.
Thank God you passed without a trace.
Don't forget, you have your bow as well if you so choose to use it.
Nope, not using it.
Yeah, make projects.
All right, what you guys got?
23.
18.
18 plus 20, so 38.
24 for Fane and
A natural 1 for a 6. For
16 total for
16.
the
Gotcha. Due to the overwhelming higher numbers of the rest of the group, you guys stay fairly decently hidden.
38 at level 5. This is so busted.
You guys slowly begin to creep and find a hiding space under the bush, but there's something different about today's feeding time. Zeltroy himself has not left his mountain. As you look across, you can see no one has ventured out from around the base of the mountain. There are dozens upon dozens of varying different sizes and colors of dragons as they encircle around what appears to be the plains to the east. Each one of them diving ever so often, and you can see small bits, well, what appear to be small animals as they carry them back up in their mouth, but they're not feeding on them. They're taking them up into the mountain.
Time for Dad to have his lunch.
I'm sorry. It's daytime? Like I thought Zeltroy's feeding time was in the morning.
This is the morning.
Yeah, this is the morning. Only rested till like 10 a.m. basically.
Okay.
So, are you guys continuing your trek?
Fuck yeah. I ain't scared.
Another survival check for me, please.
Advantage.
Yes.
I'm rolling like hotcakes on these advantages. 22.
22. You very easily, after getting distracted for a short while, ensuring that you and your party did not become dragon food, pick the trail back up, and you watch as it bends back up and around, and you can find a bit of a blood trail. You know this to be animal blood. It's an easy thing for you to decide, for you to identify.
Gotcha.
Strips of it on varying bits of the forest floor and small little plants and flowers as you continue to watch. Whatever they were doing, they were chasing down whatever their hunt was, it looks like. You follow the trail until it comes to a small little pool of dried blood on the forest floor where it seems as if they finally caught up to their kill and killed and dressed it here.
Okay.
You
Does it
continue
branch off when their work is done? Yeah.
You continue their trail, and it leads back eastward towards the entrance of Trasana.
Okay. Now we know. They didn't take any. Well, they. Against my better judgment, they decided to continue the hunt. I think that would be a reportable thing that you need to leave your patrol for, but I guess man's got to eat, so. Okay. They didn't deviate. They didn't go anywhere funky. I say our plan has not changed.
You all think that means it wasn't quite as shocking to them? Or that Trasana's just gotta eat? I mean, they didn't look entirely stocked on food when we were there, did they? Did they?
We had a bit of a feast, didn't we?
They
Or was
fed
it
you guys fairly decently, but you guys didn't fully investigate the village. So I mean, as far as you know, you didn't see any food storages or anything laying about.
Yeah, they got a granary up in here.
It just didn't. It wasn't like the feast we had down in Sangara.
No, it was nothing like the feast you had in Sangara.
Okay. So they were probably at least worse off than Sangara.
I mean, you're
Sangara
relying off
was,
stuff that grows, and you got druids, so.
yeah, but it also sounded like Sangara had to almost hunt every day. So, if they had to hunt every day, I can't imagine what Trasana's got to do.
Yep. Okay. Well, I will tag near the rear of the party because this is talking time, and we have plans.
Head forward, right into the city.
Okay, you guys just waltzing in?
I would imagine we're not gonna like bust out of the brush like, look at us.
That's kind of what I don't really want to know is how are you approaching?
I just want to
my hood up over my antlers. Feels a little tighter today, but uh-oh.
Hey, it actually didn't mess us all up too horribly. We just got multiple Alyssas, which we always need more of. We always need more of them.
I'll wait to see if they can hear me.
Yeah.
We can hear you. It's our Emma's tablet disconnected, but we're still connected via voice.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't think it'd be kind of like run and gun in, but I also don't want to like sneak. I just want to casually approach.
Yeah, we're just casually approaching.
Just a couple of guys being dudes.
Spain is 1000% ready for any fight, so he's okay with any plan that brings us closer to violence. I will stroll in. I will actually take out a bottle of rum and sort of walk in, sort of jauntily.
Okay, so you guys just walking in then, just to be clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Easy enough. You guys walk out,
I'm coming.
break the edges of the forest, and begin to make your way into
Take it away.
the village of Tressana.
Take it away.
The guards pay you no mind. A few of them, they look at you for a little bit, and then they remember you. They greet you, welcome you back in. You pass through the large wooden gate that is pulled open. Find yourselves within the city of Tressana.
Can I?
Or village, I should say, not city.
Can I say I would have liked to have? I don't think I'm gonna fucking hide it because it's huge, but I want to not make the bone cleaver crazy obvious, like just hanging off my back, you know?
Sure. So, I mean, with that and your grade, I mean, you could take someone's cloak or, I mean, some sort of clothing and just wrap around it. Just
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
I'm
some
cool
spare
with it
leathers.
hanging off my back and just like under a cloak. I just don't want it to be like I don't want to be like waving the shit around.
sure,
Yeah.
easy enough.
We got some spare
I
leathers.
will-
We'll cover it up.
I will look at Kothar as we enter the village, and I'll say, "Can I get in? Do they? You bartered with these people. Do they trade in coin?"
No, I don't think anyone here trades in coin. It's all, you know, goods and wares. So if you got anything to trade, I mean, I had a hand axe, right? You know what those go for back on the mainland, just like a dime a dozen a hand axe. Treated it like it was pure platinum.
Okay, I duly noted. So this is well, it's not a good admission, but I need more of that. I'm almost out, and I hold up my bottle of rum. If you have anything to trade, I look. I have nothing.
Gotta keep him jovial. It's time to fess up.
mean,
I do have my old bow now. Oh, but that's a keepsake. I gave it up my old bow.
Oh, I thought you gave me the old bow.
Oh yeah, I did give
You
you a
did.
old bow. You're not allowed to trade that, for the record.
I will not hesitate for a second to trade that.
I have approximately 3 pounds of blue glowing mushrooms.
Yeah, I was
You know,
gonna say.
I have. Let me see if I have any leather, but I have teeth, and I might have. I have a crude animal pelt that I haven't. The green dinosaur and the black and the T-Rex leather I have started tanning, but the crude animal pelt I think I have not started tanning yet.
I mean, you could always trade in services.
Hey, for the record, while we're talking about inventory, who wants to add 6 rations to their inventory? Because I don't need them.
I got you. I'm
Okay.
counting them already.
Cool, because I'm a robot. I don't need rations.
So
Just take up space in my inventory.
um, scratch that last train of thought. I want to go straight to my leather where it is curing, and or where it should be cured, well cured by now. I want to go find it.
Easy enough. You make your way to the
Okay.
not large but decently sized tent where they basically gave for you and your shipmates to stay while you were within Tressana. You pass in and find the makeshift tanning rack that you've put together. Your leather is well tanned. You can see that it is almost as if someone took care of it for you while you were gone. It looks pristine.
Beautiful. I will do the final step in tanning leather very quickly. It doesn't take long. I will take any stick or blunt object and beat the death out of it, and then roll it up and tie it and put it on my back. That shouldn't take more than like 15 minutes. That'll be a priority.
Okay.
You know, since we're at this tent, D, I'm gonna ask: do I see Strabmill, Fatmill, Ezra, or Gregor?
You see bedrolls and varying bits of things that they've gathered throughout the town, but they are not to be found.
Okay.
Fine, if you're still interested in trading, I do have a handful of javelins we might be able to trade in. And better yet, if we can convince them to these are, I'll notice the look on Akari's face. These are javelins.
Okay.
My good dino javelins. Those are mine.
No, I was asking about the monk javelins.
I made no javelins. Those were darts. I left those embedded in the tree unless someone says they wanted to pick them up because I was not taking human bone darts. Anywhere near the
I assume you
settlement.
guys took them out of the tree and just kind of like tossed them into the woods somewhere.
Yeah, it's part of the camp cleanup. Yeah.
But I mean, if you'd really like to get some bargaining power, if we can convince them to give me some old bones and we have a bit of time, I could probably make them a decent amount.
Okay, let's. Well, I know we have things to do, but I'd like to do this before we cause a ruckus and we lose access.
Split the party.
What are you doing, Fane?
I'm going to take whatever Kothar has offered, and if Kothar wants to come along, I'm going to go find the Jungle Juice lady.
3 javelins.
Easy enough to do.
So-
You
Mhm.
start to meander through town. You see some familiar faces of people that you saw. As you're looking for the Jungle Juice lady, I assume everybody is
Yeah.
with you.
Yes, but I do want to look as we're moving through the town. Unless you can correct me if Akari would actually remember if there was a location that was stated. I want to look for heavy ruts in the roads here that would be caused by the traffic of lumber, like big lumber.
Okay.
And just make note of where it's going,
Okay.
if I can. That leads to our dwarven friends.
Make a survival check for me for that. Kedai and Zamira, as he's looking for those tracks, both of you notice the halfling and the human man are just now returning into town.
I will point it out.
I'm rolling like a baller on this D20. 24.
Woo!
Wait, weren't we tracking them back to
Yeah,
town?
I'm confused, but it's fine.
You tracked
No,
their trail.
we found the animal and then we went straight to town.
You found the animal, and their trail led northward towards Tressana.
Oh, I had thought we had
But it's
followed their trail
it's
entirely.
that's where they were just hunting.
Oh, yeah, that would have been on me because I was the. That's fine. Whoops.
Whatever. It's too late now.
Oh, yeah.
You can see they're carrying 3 deer back with them as they walk through the front gate.
It's a solid haul.
Plastic.
Akari, you do see
Wait, a halfling and a human are carrying 3 deer.
the halfling's got 1 and the human's got 2. What's so weird about that?
Oh.
What's wrong? That's big, dude.
Dude, everybody in this world's big. You two are big. Everybody's got GMOs in their freaking system in this game.
They aren't like full blown giant ass deer, you know.
I'm
No.
sorry. I was picturing like the halfling balancing one on his dick or something.
Oh my.
Oh my lord.
They're both 26.
One more
point
dick
drunk,
joke.
And he's
You
just
said
the
you were done
human's
with the
just
dick
like
jokes.
Akari, you do see ruts where it seems a
It's
hand-pulled
really-
cart would be pulled through town with
Neat.
lumber
I
on
will
it,
make
heading
mental note of it.
towards the river area.
Cool. Let's keep going here.
Okay. The halfling men and the human begin to walk through town in direction of what you know to be Geffroy's tent.
As we walk, I just say, Ekare, do you want to go listen while we tend to our business?
Actually, I suppose that would be a good idea. Anyone is welcome to join me, and I know Zamira's currently away. But yeah, I will actually split from the group and start making my way to Gilfoy's tent as well. Do I beat? Because I imagine they have to drop them off. Do I beat the halfling and the human there, or
They took the meats with them to his tent.
Oh, okay. So I arrive about the same time or after them?
You arrive about the same time.
Okay. I'll just kind of actually like open the tent flap for them and follow them in. Kind of stand.
They look at you.
Well, if anybody's with me, then they're with me. But I'll stand opposed from them, like in a separate area of the welcome area.
You enter in. You can see the familiar sight of Geffroy, the large Goliath man that greeted all of you whenever you first came here. He looks up to you, Akari, and did everybody go with just for my sake?
Yeah, it would only be
No,
Zamir.
Look
Two
at
went
Jungle
to
Juice
the
Lady.
market.
Do you want to go with the car to the tent person with the people tell the way?
I assumed.
The Fane is not deviating. He's going to the jungle just lady.
Okay, make an investigation check for me, Fane. Kedai, are you with Akari and everyone else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to
So
that
it's
in a
the three
second,
of us
Fane.
then.
Just hold on to it.
Copy.
So the four of you that did go with
Three.
Akari. There's four of you.
What, Kothar went with us too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. The four of us.
The four of you went with Geffroy. He greets you all as you enter in. Ah, I see you guys have made it back. Did you find much trouble in your travels?
I mean, not any more trouble than you'd led us to believe we'd be expecting, you know? I mean,
I'm not sure I follow.
there was a little bit of trouble, but nothing
It
we
was
can't
just
handle.
Forest denizens, wildlife.
I notice you don't have any new faces with you. So, were prisoners gone, dead?
We weren't able to find any prisoners. I
don't
don't know if
say.
that bodes well for you or not.
I'm not sure what happened. Well, there was no one there.
None from your tribe that we could find.
Don't know what happened to them.
Are you missing a lot of people from your tribe?
3 hunters of ours went missing. Was reasonably to assume that since we sent them across the river that they taken prisoner by the savages.
Real quick, DM.
Yeah.
Encounter with the gnolls. Is that across the river or no?
Trying to remember now. I believe it is on the north side of the river where you guys encountered the gnolls.
We didn't see any human remains there, I don't believe. I don't have any notes on that,
You did
I don't
not.
think. Okay. So, that's the only thing we would have run across. I'll tell them about the gnolls.
Yes, the gnolls, they do run rampant throughout the forest. Although, I think our hunters would be able to have handled those. I'm a little concerned that some of my men may still be out there.
We didn't see any artifacts of their travel, nor possible demise, if that's what came to them.
Well.
What did you send them across the river for? Just a hunting excursion?
Hunting, scouting, foraging, whatever we may need. I don't know if we told you this before you left, but there is a sickness that has begun to infect the forest, and it's made food scarce. So sometimes we have to venture a little farther than we would hope to do in order to feed everybody.
Real quick, as he's explaining all that, does it look like he's holding anything back?
An insight check.
Snake a snake.
Oh, 25.
Oh, what?
25.
What? You're a barbarian. What?
Actually,
I have a
What's your-
16 wisdom, my friend.
Oh my. He's a wise boy. He's on the seas, so.
He doesn't appear like he's holding any information back, but he also doesn't. His mannerisms and the way he's talking does not give you the impression that he's extremely shocked that you didn't find anybody.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, as you can tell, we're all kind of still here, so we didn't really engage like the tribe down there. They're still there. We just kind of managed to kind of sneak about and look in a few huts. If you'd like, we can mount another excursion to look for your men.
I mean, if you wouldn't mind, I don't want to trouble you all. We have at least a small update. Your dwarven friends, while I've never seen men that work that hard in my life, they have begun. Should we stay on schedule, I believe we will have the boat done within time for the full moon for us to finally leave this godforsaken island.
I mean,
Just a
that's
quick question, DM. Is the full moon like the deadline that we originally
The
had? was,
double
like, the
full
20 days?
moon was the deadline that you were given when the two, or whenever the bride is offered to Zeltroy, essentially.
yeah. Zeltroy fucks on the double full moon, so we gotta hurry.
Which is now roughly, let's see, it was 58 days away, I believe. I'd have to go back and check my notes, but
Yeah, we should all
you've got...
fuck on the double home, you know what I'm saying?
You what?
Double moons, baby. Double moons.
But you guys have roughly still like 50 days.
Okay.
I mean, that's fantastic news, right? I mean, I am eagerly counting the days until we can get off this God's forsaken island.
Myself as well. I can't wait to have a good ale.
I can only imagine. The only holdup I could imagine is that if you would like us to, as we would probably as well, like to investigate just a little bit deeper, there's more possibility that we get into some fights, and if that were the case, I would really like to borrow our compatriots for a little while to be able to lend us some backup. Maybe I can get my crazy dwarven friends, my little brothers, to build us maybe like a little bit of a ballista. Maybe they can take their ballista with us for a brief moment in time. I wouldn't want to leave you defenseless. I know the island's dangerous in and of itself.
I mean, they are your friends, and they are free to do with what they wish. I do worry that if they stop construction, that we miss our deadline. I would say we would have to maybe talk with the village chief, maybe talk with
Insight
Udelafan,
check.
and see what he has to think of this.
Insight check.
Okay, what are you trying to incite?
They are your friends, and you may do with them what you will. Ooh. Oh, insight. Ooh, boy. Big 9. Big 9, though. Like
Hard
a
to-
really big 9.
He's hard to read.
Alright.
I will repeat the last line because I don't think you guys picked up on it. He mentioned
Village chief?
the village chief. Did you hear his name?
I didn't. I don't think he said it, but we must have missed it.
He did say it. He mentioned that the village chief's name was Udelafan.
Poker face. Complete poker face.
Murder.
Kothar will try to keep a poker face. Kothar's not good at poker.
What? You're a fucking sailor.
And he lost all of his money at poker. What can I
Oh, well,
say?
that's fair.
Uh,
Well, that would certainly be a conversation we would need to have. Yes.
I know that he is also eager to leave the island. He's had the dwarves working day and night, which I think they enjoy.
I think it would be good to get introduced to some of the power structure around here.
Well, there are
If
three.
you don't mind, we were going to probably speak to our dwarven friends and the captain and the other one that we arrived with.
No
And
worries.
catch up.
I will set up a meeting then if you guys wish to speak to Adelafon. There are he and two others that are the pseudo leaders of our tribe.
Sure. Who are these two others?
The other's name is Xavier. The woman's name is Lowell.
Sorry, Gilfer. I know we're kind of jumping all over the place. Our tiefling friend, Thane, met him. He went out to the market, but he's going to the Jungle Juice Lady. I was curious if you had a Fletcher, who worked for you all. If I could, I need to procure some more arrows myself.
Remind me, do you have that bow on you? Is it hidden?
You know, hindsight being 2020, I probably did the same thing as Kothar. But yeah, I mean, I have the bow on me. It's a thing. I probably wrapped it up in some of my leathers. I won't, explicitly tell you that I thought of it. Something Akari probably would have thought of.
Something Akari probably would have thought of. That's fair. Well, most of the hunters seem to fashion their own arrows. I used to have actually, and he kind of like looks outside. Aragod usually fashions mine for me. Haven't seen him in a few days. Did you see him in town, or perhaps while you were out?
We haven't seen him yet.
Man's a simpleton, but doesn't get lost very often.
I'm sure
Maybe
he'll
he
come
went
around.
very far south. I mean, as you kind of mentioned, people are having to head more and more south for food.
Do you think he feels responsible for those other missing hunters?
To be quite frank, I don't think he's smart enough to understand it.
Well, all right then. I suppose I'll just maybe speak to some of the hunters in camp, see if I can borrow their skills.
Yes. Well,
I'm sure I'll find plenty in the I believe it was just a dining hall.
well, emotions to the two that are kind of standing next to you, just like waiting to drop off their deer. Barrow and Elijah here are two formidable hunters. Perhaps one of them could help you.
That could be helpful. Appreciate it. Barrow,
And
Elijah.
I apologize, the two of you. Please, just take them out back with the rest of the storage. You see them kind of like walk out the back of the tent to begin setting up their dressings to take care of the rest of their haul.
May I inquire? You all must have quite a bit of extra, just kind of bone laying around from all your hunts.
I
Do
mean,
you not?
we'd normally leave it for for Lowell. She's they called them priests back home, clerics, whatever you'd like to call it, but
Necromancer.
she has uses for them.
I wouldn't want to invade on anything you guys already have.
I'm sure she would not mind passing with some.
I mean, I'd appreciate it. I have a little bit of rudimentary skill, so I was hoping that, if you guys could lend me some bone, I might be able to turn it into some kind of crude weapons or tools for you all in kind of a, it looks like you guys might need a little bit more.
Well, we could always use more, and the stuff we have is old and worn down. Sharpening can only do so much.
When we meet with her, I'll inquire and see if there's anything I can do to help.
Well, I sure hope there is. Some better hunting tools would definitely aid.
Well, go for it. I think we'll probably go speak with our friends, but we'll catch up with you later this evening, maybe for meeting with the three.
Yes, I look forward to it. I think the three of them would, well, at least you all should at least meet them. New to town and everything.
Certainly. I will start shuffling towards the door unless anybody's got anything else to say.
Easy enough. So the four of you begin to leave. Fane, we will get to your thing here in a second, but we're going to go ahead and go to break. I'm going to run upstairs real quick because my daughter is crying again and Shelby's not home. So.
Oh no. Run.
So I will be right back, guys. Stay tuned. We will be back here in roughly 5 minutes. Don't want to miss this stuff. See you here in
Conversation
a
was
little bit.
whack.
Bye.
And feel the power radiating off the bone cleaver.
I will cleave you in your bones.
Watch me cleave through some motherfuckers now.
So how's everybody's day going?
Pain.
Yeah. All better. Hmm? I have a pup with me. Would you like to see?
Yeah, what kind of question is that? What the
Oh, no, not your belly.
As a
not your
dog,
belly
I'm
right
not gonna
now.
put it on camera. That hurts me.
Okay, hold on. It's gonna take us a second. We're a little bit bigger than we used to be.
It literally gets bigger every time I see her. It's ridiculous.
She's huge, dude. Zach's dad and stepmom were here this past weekend, and she was like, I don't think that's Dalmatian in her. I think that might be some Great Dane. It's like, that would make sense. You big girl.
Emma, any chip you guys need from the conversation? I know you guys' connection has been spotty for.
I'll try to keep myself quiet so I don't come up on Melissa's mic because I have to open my door. It is like almost 80 degrees in my fucking room.
If you need me to turn down the sensitivity, just let me know.
You're Gucci.
Jupiter doesn't set it off. I don't think you will. Hi. I'm a gamer dog.
I don't know what to make of all this. Boy. I'm not gonna be able to get a concrete answer as to whether or not other people are making the same arrows as Aragod.
I'm just gonna switch to my headset for a second until he gets back in here. because I don't know how to do his mic. I plugged it in, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
I can relate to that for sure.
Y'all are
Do the
telling me no
camera.
one wants the bone sword?
You want the bone sword.
I got it all hooked up, but I don't know how to make your mic work. I plugged it in, so I switched to my headset mic for a second so I could talk to them.
3 gigahertz speed on the codec.
I love it when you talk like that to me.
Mmm. Spicy. I actually have a pretty wacky idea.
You don't know.
I like wacky ideas.
I love wacky ideas. Hit me.
I have an idea that is going to give you a great chance to hit if it goes south.
We need to give you the middle. We need the middle.
Why do Fane and Zamira have the same strength score?
Big bowl. Okay, can y'all hear us fine? That's volume.
Pretty good.
And our faces are so much better than that horrible tablet camera in the world.
I'm just wondering. I can.
I'm gonna just
engage
bring
with
us
this.
back because apparently these guys are just having a full blown conversation. So at least
Oh,
you guys
yeah,
can see their
we-
faces
we
while they
gave up.
talk.
Yeah, we gave up.
You might have to adjust the camera since we switched back to the other computer and the
Nope,
good
looks
camera.
perfectly fine.
Okay.
Matt, stupid statement. I know you're home alone with a kid, so if your kid needs anything, we'll fill
Oh.
it with random conversation.
Yeah,
I know.
I'll sing for you.
No, you
Yeah,
guys
don't
are
sit
good.
here if your kids acting up.
Shelby went to grab ice cream with one of her friends and has not returned, so I assume they're probably just talking, and who knows when she'll return, so hopefully soon. But
Okay, so we are just now walking out of the tent, yeah?
so yeah, you guys have just finished your conversation with Geffroy. He is now tending to his hunters. It seems as if they keep a food storage out back. He has shared what little information about what he knows about these missing villagers that it seems. It's a little seemed a little bit ominous, almost like he wasn't shocked that you guys didn't hear, or that you guys didn't find anything. At least that's what you discerned, Kothar, which you have not shared with the group yet, but we now find you guys exiting the tent. And Fane, what was that investigation roll you got?
It was a 13.
It takes you a while. You can see your friends now exiting the tent, but you do eventually find the woman who is handing out the fermented jungle juice that they have made here in town.
I will go up to her and I will say, "Hello, are you the woman with the
Are you thirsty, my dear?
I have a thirst that, well, perhaps you could quench it, actually. Perhaps in multiple ways.
I think I'm a little too much for you to handle.
I very much doubt that.
Let's start
Why
with,
don't you,
Let's start with a
come and
drink.
find out? Is she pretty before I start talking too much shit?
She is about 90.
No.
Even better.
Even better.
Gods,
Even
I'd love to
better.
follow.
Regardless, I will continue the tete-a-tete, and I will say, well, perhaps we start with the juice and then lead to the other forms of lubrication later.
Well, perhaps I'll find you in my tent later tonight. As she gives you a wink as she pours a basically makeshift ladle into a jug in front of you. That's roughly like, it would take 2 hands to hold it, and then hands it over to you.
Madam, I tend to be far afield for periods of time. I fear that our love may have to wait and may have business to attend to, but it leaves me with a need for, well, significant amounts for the road. Is it possible that I could get more?
I could part with a barrel for the right price.
A whole barrel?
What is the right price for a barrel?
She kind
Well,
of like leans back and pulls her shirt back a little bit. Make me an offer.
Oh no!
You're gonna have to tangle in the jungle for that jungle juice, G.
I will. How
The
short? is she?
python.
How
short-
tall is she?
Like 4'9". She's a very short old lady, kind of hunched over a little bit. Looks like she spent most of her life like perfecting this jungle juice.
I will.
Better get you a feather duster, dust off them cobwebs.
Juice her jungle, baby.
I will walk forward and pick her up, cradle style, like baby style.
Like the bodyguard.
Like the bodyguard, like sort of pick her up with my two perfect arms, kind of like an old woman who has hired a far too young stripper or whatever. And I will lean in and I will kiss her on the cheek and I will say, listen, darling, I don't need the whole barrel, but what can I do for just a few bottles?
If you have anything to trade, I would be willing to trade.
I flex my chest. Is this not enough?
She doesn't look like she's budging unless she's getting something.
Flirt harder.
Oh shit. Alright. I set her down and I say okay. Well.
Just give her
it
a tumble
seems-
and she'll give you a drum.
Oh, baby.
Sorry.
It was so good.
I will say, besides joys of the flesh, I have a few tools that might be of use to you.
Tools are always nice. They can make the process work a little faster.
Stop it, Liz. I know where your mind's going. Don't do
That's
it.
what he meant. That's what he meant.
It's does she have any like rounded wooden rods around?
Oh, okay.
Not that you can see.
Not judging. I say, okay, I have a javelin. Does this help?
I'm
Like
sure
a
I could
fucking
trade it.
grandma kebab.
I could definitely trade that between the hunters, and I could use it for gathering fruits out of tall trees.
I suppose even you would need it for short trees as well.
So poorly.
How many bottles of the jungle juice? This is a tool that will last. It's a well made. How many bottles of jungle juice would you give me for one of these javelins?
I could give you 4 bottles.
Well, then I will give you 3 javelins for 12.
Very well then.
And I will actually offer up my empty rum bottles for her to fill up for a few of them, and sort of stow those neatly in my pack before I take I'll take a rope or string or something and string it through the jugs that she gives me and sort of like create like a Hopi necklace for it or something.
Sure.
The world's
I like
fucking
carry-
loudest set of bells.
And it like
Click-clunk,
like
click-clunk,
carry it
click-clunk.
carry it like over the shoulder style.
Yeah.
But yes, I will do that. As I'm standing there, as I'm walking throughout the village, I want to take a look and see how many ballista I spot.
Make a reception check for me. The rest of you would now see Fane kind of talking with this woman and filling his jugs as you're walking through town.
Yeah, we'll group up.
A big fat natural.
I actually had 1 or 2 things that I wanted to do in town if I had the chance.
Tell me
I'll
what you wanna
go
do.
with Kidai then.
Okay.
I had some stuff.
Yeah,
to do
with
as well, but I'll wait.
with the natural 1, the only ones that you know are in town are the 2 on top of the either side of the gate that you've already seen.
Okay. Duly noted. Are my friends approaching?
Kothar, Zamira, are you approaching?
I mean, if I see him, I'll walk up to him first.
I am not.
Okay.
I will hand 2 jugs. I'll hand 4 jugs to Kothar. No, 2 because I need them for later. I will hand 2 to Kothar, and I will say, "This is thanks for your assistance." And I will sort of rattle my dangly necklace and say, "I think we'll be all right."
Oh, then I assume the javelins did you well.
Very well. In fact, so well that I think we'll be peace strong for a few days at least.
I mean, if we have time to celebrate, let's do it, baby.
Speaking of which, what did you learn?
I think our conversation for everyone else. Good info.
Okay.
We'll save
Yeah.
the larger partying for later.
I'm with you, Kotai. And relieved and a bit happy, I will be like sort of a little bit more loose with my posture and my sort of mannerisms.
Okay.
For the time.
Akara, Kidai, what are you trying to do here in town?
Whatever Kidai's doing.
I wanted to. I don't have very much gold on my person. I have a little bit, but I wanted to see, in a similar vein to Fane, if I could gather supplies to make a barrel of wine, like an empty barrel, a bunch of grapes, some sugar, just to
the
hang
woman
on
that he's
to.
talking to is definitely the woman you'd want to talk to for that.
Oh, is
The
like
jungle
there's not
trade.
just wine, just like
No, but she's
stomped
got fruit.
grapes.
She has fruits and other various things
Stop
that you could
grapes.
use to make.
Well, I don't want to stomp on her business. I was trying to make something different so that we had something to trade.
We can find
Uh,
grapes out in the wild. Come on, it's you and me.
Okay,
Easy.
we'll go. Well, actually, I do need to go out into the wild anyway, so we will go grape hunting. We will lock arms
Oh,
and
wow.
skip out with a little basket.
Right now?
If Kidai wants to, fuck it, I guess.
Whenever is safe. Whenever we have time.
I kind of had thought we had a bit more pressing matters. We can do
Oh,
this. totally.
definitely. No,
I'm on board.
definitely. I just also need to go out to the forest or somewhere that plants grow.
I was thinking we could at
Probably.
least meet up and talk as a group about like
That's fine. We can do this after. Totally
the
fine with me.
important thing.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Making wine is important.
Well, I've got other stuff too.
I wasn't disagreeing. It's not. I wasn't saying it's not important. I'm just.
Other stuff too.
We just had a few revelations there, and some party members know and some don't.
I was paying attention to the wine lady.
I mean, your eyes were in the right spot. She's a god I'd love to
But my
follow.
heart wasn't.
No, your heart might have been there too. Heart was there, then your heart
No,
was there.
we can go meet up with everybody. We'll make plans to do this afterwards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go and you meet up with everyone. So you will just say you guys were there whenever Kothar approached it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Zamira, you said you weren't going with them, so what are you doing?
I actually had intended to go to where the ballista was.
Which one?
Whichever one's closest, I don't really care.
I mean, each one is kind of up in a guard tower above the front gate, the two that you know about.
Yeah, I want to go up to one of them.
Could I mention to Zamira that I want to keep a count of, I want a good eye on all the ballista. I would probably, if I can find a car, I want to know how many ballista are around.
Yeah, but I don't think you would have been mentioning that to me.
You were there with Kothar, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Never mind.
Yeah. I want to go up to one of the guard towers.
Okay, you approach one of the guard towers. There is a guard at the bottom of it.
What was the leader's here's name again?
The what?
The leader here, what was his name again? Find out
Udelathon?
right now. Yes. I'm going to walk up to the guard. I was going to check out something. We learned some intel from the tieflings, and I wanted to check out something to see if it checked out before I reported it to Udelathon. I didn't want to waste his time. Do you mind if I pop up there really quick?
Make a deception check.
It's not
Next
going to be
essential
good,
message,
Chief.
by the way.
Oh, shit!
That's an 18.
+0, by the way.
I have no problem with it.
Thanks, that won't be long, and I'll climb up.
Okay. There's another man that is manning the ballista at the top.
Of course there. I'll tell him the same thing, that we learned some things from the tiefling, and I wanted to see if they were lying to us. I mean, do you mind if I look at it?
What do you mean you learned from them? Talk to the savages?
They gave us some intel, and I wanted to see if it checks out before I gave it to you, Delphon.
What do you mean they gave you intel?
They were
Are you
telling us it was-
fraternizing with our enemies?
They were no, not at all. Delphon knew we went to go find them,
Like a
but
deception
he
check.
said that they had managed. He said they had managed to disable your ballista, and I wanted to see if that was actually true. And now I'm not sure how these things work. I'd love it if you could show me how they work, so I know that it's not actually disabled.
Just tell him it's not his position. Should just
That's
fuck off and
metagamey,
keep
is-
watch.
Hold on, I do want to see. Wow. Yeah, if I tell him, but the guy down below said it was 4, and I hardly think that this is a egregious matter. Can I try to intimidate him instead of deception?
Yeah, deception again.
$17.
You can look at it if you wish. Simply aim and pull the trigger. A Neanderthal could figure it out.
He's got it down pat then. Fucking asshole.
But how, if the tieflings had disabled it, how would they have gone about it? What would they have to do?
Clearly not
Just
disabled.
Simply break it? Well, thank you for your time. You're doing good work here. And I'll give him a little fist bump and climb down.
Okay. Are you making your way back to the group?
Make it away.
Yes.
God damn it. Okay.
Got him.
Eventually,
Hex, I sent you a message, by the by.
What?
Copy.
Just trying to sort out technicals. Help him out with this setup. Move on.
Okay.
We all meet up?
Yep, you all meet up.
Alright.
I will, if I could, I would like to take the time to run around and check out the ballista before we meet up. I want to take another pass and see if I can go count them. I know I'm not an invalid. I feel like given enough time, I could make a run around and count them all.
Okay. There
Before he
is
does
one.
That, I would have got up to the party, and I managed to get up to one of the ballista and look at it, and it seems pretty simple to corrupt or disarm in any way.
If we're going to destroy them, I literally have 12 fire bombs right here, and I just jiggled the bottle. I promise you, if we drop a single one of these on there, even if it works, still they will not want to shoot them.
Fair enough.
Making your ways around the outer wall. God, I hate you so
Anyway.
much. You count that there are in total 12 ballistas, one at every tower that is built within the wall.
You tried so hard to evade it.
I hate you so much.
Fills my heart with joy.
Okay, fair enough. I will, as soon as that's done, I'll get a little fancy and I'll fly back to the party.
You see people like whispering and talking amongst themselves as they see you flying, as they know the tieflings down south also fly.
I will make sure that my bulge is very visible as I fly by.
Oh.
Eventually, you do find your way back to the group.
We agreed 2 dick jokes ago, no more dick jokes.
We're at 6. We're at 6.
Okay. Cool.
Now
Still got one more.
The 5 of you are all gathered now.
Oof. That was a journey to get us all together. I will say to the group, a conversation with Gilfoy, I don't know about the rest of you, but it didn't go how I expected. Not with the nature of Aragod being missing. I'm inclined to maybe trust Gilfoy. And my suspicion has shifted to, obviously, oh boy. I don't have my notes ready, but the person's name.
Udolophon?
Udolophon. And maybe Lowell and Xavier as well.
I trust that you guys filled me in on the conversation.
Yep,
Mhm.
I will fill them in on the feeling that I got that he was not surprised. He didn't seem like he was hiding anything, but he didn't seem surprised.
I have a bit of
The guy was
hesitance
missing.
that the reason I am beginning to trust Gilfoy in the sense that he might be ignorant and not culpable to this is that if he knew the kind of shit that Aragod got up to, he would be more concerned with his absence. And he did not sound concerned, just more of a passing, I wonder where he is. He's been gone for 3 days. By the way, DM, it's only been we fought him at 2 a.m., right? The same
Yeah.
day as today. So this
Said
dude's
he-
been gone for 3 days doing some shit.
Well, he never said
So
3
I w-
days. He just said he hasn't seen him in a few days.
Okay, I thought Gilfoy said he hadn't heard or seen from him in 3 days, but that's fine.
I don't think I specified a number. I think I just said a few.
You
So
said
if
three.
it was still more than since
I
2
say-
a.m.
Did I say 3? Okay, I could have swore I specified it. I didn't think I specified a number, but if I said 3,
Okay.
then it was 3.
Well, a few would be more than 2 a.m., so my point still sort of stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a suspicion that, based on his final words, Aragod was working for Udalaphon here. Udalaphon? That's not right.
Udalaphon.
Udilla. Fawn. I'm just gonna call him Fawn from here on out.
Fun.
Was working for Fawn, and Gilfoy was none the wiser. He's just the manager of the hunters. Does anyone have any thoughts?
I mean, I'd still trust Gilroy about as far as you could throw him.
Based on oh, sorry, go ahead. Well, I feel like it's moot. Based on what we know, we can't let them keep chopping trees. And that's regardless of who's. We can have our suspicions, but we're going to have a fight regardless.
That is going to be an argument we need to have. Which is why I would like to speak with our friends first, to get them on the same page. I am of the mind that our friends should know everything, and Trasana should listen to the desires of those who hold the cards, which is currently us.
By the way, I did a bit of scouting, and there are 12 ballista. I don't think we need to destroy all of them should it come to that, but all maybe 6, 7 along one side would be the way if we choose to go that route.
It's a certain possibility. If we need to get... We're discussing things far in advance of when we may need to attack action, but if we find that Fawn or these other leaders, or all three, or just the two, are in conflict with the rest of Trasana, lying to them, culpable in whatever Aragod and that demon orc were up to, disarming the city of Trasana wouldn't be a huge problem because we have Stradmule and Thadmule to rearm them. But we can use it as a bargaining chip, if we must.
Indeed. Which means we need to get Stradmule and Thadmule to safety.
I have a really crazy idea. If anyone's got anything, speak up. I don't want to control the floor here. I'm thinking, maybe, this Elijah, and Barrow, this halfling and the human, they're some of the hunters. They seemed really confused by the setup there. The fletching that I brought up was a ploy. I was trying to see if they had a storehouse of kits, to see if the kind of arrows that Aragod is making are something that Trasana is aware of, or if it's just Aragod and maybe these leaders. We could get the two of them, or one of them, under the guise of helping me make some arrows, into a room, and I could show them Aragod's kit, and see if they even recognize it. And if they recognize it, then we interrogate, probably have to kill, probably fight breaks out. But we know that it's more widespread than just Aragod. That the hunters as a whole maybe know about it. Those are questions we can ask.
Real quick, Matt, do the ballista, in my observations of the ballista, which way do they point?
Outwards, away from the town.
And so they are they sophisticated enough that they could swivel inward and point into the village?
Hard to tell from the ground.
Would I have seen that?
Roll an intelligence check.
Big dick. Not big dick.
8.
You don't know.
Anyway,
Samira's
that's
not very versed in ballistas.
that's my crazy idea for figuring out how widespread whatever Aragod was up to is in Tristana. If the common everyday hunters know about the kind of shit that Aragod got up to, then it's more widespread than just Aragod and Fawn and maybe the other leaders. But at this point, my suspicion, I know, Kothar, you don't fully trust him as far as I could throw him, which is not far. But I'm starting to trust Gilfroy in a way.
I find that I have no taste for intrigue, and I would like an answer soon. I suspect that perhaps we can trust Gilfroy, but Aragorn said specifically that he serves you Delafon, and as far as I'm concerned, we need no more answers. We know the answer. Gilfroy may be a part of it, but we go tell Gilfroy, and we immediately do something about it. We say, you come with us to confront with Delafon, and if he refuses, then he's complicit. If he comes with us, then we go kill you Delafon. And that is the end of the story. And we need to spend no time being afraid of the consequences. There will be consequences to this regardless of what we do. But delaying the conflict only multiplies it.
I'm not sure this is something we should do in secret at all. I think we need to have this conversation in front of the entire town.
I think I agree with Zamira here.
We need to take away their powers. It's so easy to lie when there's no one to say that you're lying. But if everyone's around, there's bound to be a lot more honesty and a lot less rumors. If we just go in there and blame Yellowpon for something and kill him, it would be so easy for someone else to spread rumors about the town that we attacked him and sided with the tieflings, and then we ourselves would be targets.
I want to point out that we did side with the tieflings.
We did. But they don't know that the tieflings are good. And I think that we need to have this conversation to show our true hand in front of the town so that the town cannot be turned against us.
Regardless, I recognize that there is, and I agree with you, Zamira, and I think it's a good point. I think there are times where intrigue and secrecy can be beneficial, but I don't think this is one of them. I think we should have it out and be done with it.
Let the people choose their sides.
If we can get them in a public setting, that would be incredibly helpful. I think Samira's onto something there. There's no trial like a public trial.
We could call a feast.
I was along the lines that maybe Stradmo and Thadmil could have an announcement. But that's obviously our conversation. We would have to speak with them first.
We could, we could suggest to Gilfroy that we could meet you, Delafon, at this meeting, and why not make it a celebration to celebrate the fact that we will be building a boat, and just a celebration of hope, and to spit in the face of evil, and at the celebration we call out their sins.
Kidai, Kothar, you're being awfully quiet. Any ideas? This is tricky. I'm not sure how to handle it, but
I would I'd be kind of inclined to agree that a more public setting would potentially sway the populace in our favor, but we also have to worry that if Udolphin is really, potentially is evil and in with some of these demons, devils, whatever have you, that there might be some casualties of a nature that we cannot control.
But if
I
he's
have-
willing to go to those lengths in front of his people, he would show his true colors, and we wouldn't need to. And
Yeah,
some
but
of the
the-
tieflings have already sworn to come to our aid.
I agree that once the cat's out of the bag, it's out of the bag, but the losses, the collateral, is the kind of thing we'd have to be willing to accept. I do have one additional idea, just had it. I get the sense that a lot on this island is connected. I know we told the druids we would stop the deforestation, and that's something that can still be on the table. I want to take action here. I agree with you, Fane. But I almost wonder if we investigate this corruption that everyone seems to be worried about, if we'll find connections back to Fawn or anything else.
No. I would respect your perspective here and you trying to be open-minded, but not while these people actively hunt my kin. Not a single day.
That's fair. Can't say no to that. All right. So what are we doing? Meeting with Fawn, or are we just skipping? We should probably go talk to our friends first.
Yeah, I think we should fill in everyone on the plan,
All right.
especially if there's going to be the potential for death and destruction.
Damn, we'll follow the Grooves back to the river. Straight on that mill.
Probably in like a super secure location.
Yeah, we'll pull him aside. He'll be fine.
You guys eventually follow the trail down to the riverbanks, where you can see Stradmule and Thadmule have constructed a fairly decent portion of the underside of a boat, building from the ground up. They haven't completely finished the first section or the bottom section of the boat, but they're working away tirelessly at it. And they both look up. Aha! They both run over towards both of them run over towards the five of you. You can see that Breger and Ezra are working alongside them. Not nearly as fast, but they're working.
As they run up, I'll just kind of take a knee and take both of them in a big hug. They're like brothers to me. On the seas, anyway. We were. Listen, Stratthad, we need to have a conversation with Breger and Ezra and you two. Privately.
Well, we could go have a conversation then. Through the tent?
Sure. Yeah, go gather them up. We'll meet you there.
Okay. They both run off, gather Breger and Ezra, and the four of them follow the five of you back to your tent.
Real quick, Matt. I want to try to case the construction site. I'm assuming they have guards posted here.
They have guards and multiple people helping. I mean, probably a dozen people helping build this
Can I just get a rough number of guards?
Looking around, it's hard to tell who's a guard and who's working, but those that are posted that are clearly guards, probably 6.
Okay. Just getting a rough number. That's it. We'll double back to the tent, meet everybody else there eventually.
Short time
Did you
passes, and eventually...
Did you say you got to count on guards?
About 6. But I
6.
didn't do a full case, just like a
Gotcha.
glance.
If I knock them out, is there a bush to hide the body in?
Give you a bush.
The five
Yes,
of
team,
you...
I would like to hitman it, knock him out, and like throw him in a dumpster. I'm sure
Yeah,
those
okay.
exist. Okay.
5 of you make your
Anyway.
way back to your tent, and
Anyway.
the 4 shipmates join you shortly after. You see
Yeah,
Breger and
I'm-
Ezra enter in, followed by the 2 dwarven twins of Stradmule and Thadmule.
I'm gonna save you a lot of heartbreak, Matt. Just say head. And you'll get Matt. Like say head that way, and Matt will and Aiden will never be able to say no.
But that's not as good for the word count.
As you venture.
As you mentioned. I'm trying to protect you from us.
I don't know why you guys are undermining me. Like, I'm having a great time over here.
Because
So-
apparently Matt
Everybody needs a
protection
hobby.
from you.
Matt needs reasons to be frustrated so he can kill this character and I can bring in another. It's fine. See, there's the nod from Zamira.
The dwarves say you wanted to speak with me, or well, us.
We did. Matt, I will DM this if you, or I will RP this if you want to. Or we can just go over the skinny. I'm not gonna spare a detail if we just want to go over the skinny and share everything. The druids, how messed up their situation with the understandings of each other between Tristana and Sagara. The druids have one tail, the people of Tristana have another. Aragod was up to some shit. We took him out. He had the fletching of the cave. Does that sound familiar to Breger is a question that I'll ask Breger. We're in a sticky wicket with the deforestation business, and we need to find a way to halt that, but we're not quite certain what kind of action we're going to take, but we're considering like a public outburst of some form. Or I can RP all of it. If you really
that's
want me
fine. We can.
It's going to take Akari like 10 years to say it with his cadence of speech.
You're fine.
So.
The two dwarves pipe up first. If we have no wood, how do we build boat?
I think I also have a solution to that. I've been told there's a small fleet of ships down in the reef. They are, unfortunately, manned with people who would probably not give them up if we were regular folk, and of particular interest are not a fan of me. So
Ezra kind of like takes out one of her daggers and twirls it in her hands. We could just take care of them.
I mean,
Ezra, you grow ever more attractive every day.
I think Stradmule, Thadmule, I think if you could get that ballista anywhere near the shore, we'd have a pretty easy time picking off some of those boats.
Hey, Strad, Thad, it was you two who told me explosions are scary at sea, yeah? Easy way to scuttle a ship.
Still have a few sticks of dynamite.
It's a consideration. I think, Kothar, if you'd be willing, as a stand-in against the deforestation, and to get back, we could do that.
Breger kind of chimes in. So, what your proposition is that the four of us somehow take a ballista and leave with you to join, at least go stay in Sangara, or?
I don't know.
My worry is while our stay here has been nice, I worry that a public outburst and you trying to take away the shipwrights that these people have come to have faith in will not go over so as smoothly as you think it does.
No, sorry, to clarify, DM, it was a public outburst to out Fawn as a fuckhead with whatever the fuck this crazy orc with a bone sword's doing.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Okay.
Udelafon is a charismatic man beloved by his people. We haven't had any personal conversations, but...
Yeah, they worship the guy.
Yes.
Alright.
Ezra kind of chimes in, and his two right
he always
hands...
worships the cunts, I swear to God.
At least his right and his left hand, his two followers, the Asimar woman and the Tiefling man. They're tricky. Three of them don't stay too far from each other at any one given time, and I haven't had any conversations, but I don't think there's more there than meets the eye. There's something mysterious.
Do you think it's related to the pentagram?
I can't say that. My short answer is yes, I think there's something there that's related. My long answer is I can't say what's going on, but I would not be surprised if the three of them are not... Well, if they don't have something to hide. You don't see a You don't see people like those three ever really out in public, and when they do make a public appearance, it's for feasts, for parties. They stay within their tent, and they make excursions off into the forest to the north, ever so often.
Okay.
What if
New,
rather
absolutely fucking crazy idea. Sorry, I know I'm coming up with these like crazy. The three of them, based on Breger and everybody else, is not worth trusting. Up to shit. We start a scene here. People are gonna die in droves. We take Stradmule, Thadmule, Breger, Ezra, and we leave. Cover of night, however we can manage it, we get out. But before we do, we risk trusting Gilfroy, telling him the entire situation. If he understands, he understands. If he doesn't, well, then cat's out of the bag and we're in a big scuffle. But we have someone here who has the trust of the hunters, direct interactions, away from these figureheads, who can get a sense of who is willing to stand up and honor their connection with Gilfroy and each other, as opposed to these three that by all means seem to be worshipped but really don't do anything. And in the meantime, we try to tackle the lumber problem. Because
we
I
could
appreciate the
incentivize them.
desire for immediate action, Fane, but I don't want to see another tribal village burn.
So you
'Cause I
would
don't-
allow the
I-
tieflings to burn instead?
Thank you, Zamira. I was going to say it, but you said it just as well.
Who will they send?
What if we go? I understand that this is a delicate situation, but what if we go somewhere for 3 or 4 days, and we come back and we still have the village of Trasana to deal with. Nothing has changed here. We heal the forest, and we come back, and nothing has changed in Trasana. And we still have to kill people. But in the meantime, they sent out a hunting party, and they just happened to run into my cousin, Yalis. And Yalis is dead on a stick. I don't mean to be crass, but it's my family. I don't have that. I lost it all, and now I have a small piece of it. And you cannot ask me to abandon that, not to risk it, not now that I have it. Better judgment would indicate that your plan, taking time with it, being patient is the idea, but I don't really want to use my better judgment here.
Fane, I want to express first and foremost that I wholeheartedly understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. I have come to trust the four of you with my life. My concern is, if we do this and we fail, if we act now and we don't win, you've risked it all.
So tell me, Akari, what does healing the forest do about Trasana?
Healing the forest doesn't do anything about Trasana necessarily, but with Stradmule and Thadmule's help, and I know that you've got a number of skilled druids, even Kedai, as I motioned to her, we could spend a few days fortifying Sangara, same as Trasana. Initiate what would be a war on ice, a cold war of sorts, and see. I mean, what are they going to send? A pack of mobile ballistas? I don't know. I don't think they have that capability. They've got the walls, they've got the ballistas, and they've got martial capabilities.
They also have demons.
Some of them do. The leadership, evidently.
I don't. Of all the ideas, I mind this one the least because it at least protects Singara.
That was my
But-
point.
But it brings us no closer to actually accomplishing our goal. Because it actually puts us further back. Because it puts a target on our back, and it gives them time to prepare.
And it still paints the tieflings in a negative light. The whole point is to showcase to the people here that they're not bad and that the people they've been lied to, that's our only hope and success in the casualties, is to turn the people who are innocent against those who are guilty.
You're right. Kidai, Kothar, any thoughts? I'm or shit, Breger and see ya. Or Breger and oh jeez, they're on Stradmouth
Ezra.
Avenue. I mean, they're all here for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's still here. So
Akari, the more we discuss it and the more we get involved in plan after plan, I tend to align more with Fane. I appreciate the patience and the measured approach, but in a similar vein to Fane, I am
Fane.
how close to
The
getting
Fane.
answers. I mean, these people potentially killed my family. If there's the slightest chance that our inaction gets them any closer to doing the same to Fane's, can't stand there and watch that.
I'm not one for violence, but I'm also not one to let people die because we didn't want to take action. I'm willing to swallow some violence for the sake of less violence down the road. Especially if those people are doing such evil things we think they are.
You all are right. Just one promise. Anybody who isn't a warrior, anybody who isn't responsible, anybody who doesn't raise a blade, we try. First of all, obviously, we don't strike them. Second of all, we try above all keep them safe. They're caught in the middle of this. What we're about to foist upon them. And I'm not sure I want to watch another tribal village burn of non-combatants. If it
I'm
comes to
with you
that,
there,
that's
Akari.
all I ask.
I would never hurt someone who didn't absolutely have to be hurt.
Then I'm with you, and let's fucking do this, because you all make excellent points, and something's got to change. Let's be the ones to do it.
I would only ask before we go, Chidai, are you all right with this? I want to make sure if we're about to potentially endanger ourselves and our position of safety in this village that you're behind our plan.
I am. I had other plans, but I think the urgency of what needs to happen puts this at a top priority. So I'm behind it.
If you're
think you
speaking
are.
about that grove, Kidai, the Micaiah, I told you I'd take you there. That was I felt the same presence. So it's on my to-do list too.
Well, good. We'll go together.
And with us as well,
Of course.
all of us.
Sounds good to me.
So, I think the first thing we do is speak with Gilfroy and spill the beans. The only question is, before that, do we get Stradmule and Tadmule out of the city, or do we keep them here?
I'll cast a glance towards Ezra and Breger and Stradmule and Thadmule.
We are capable individuals. Wish to have backup, we could stand with you, but if you wish us to leave, we could leave. I'll be honest with you. Seeing the dragons almost
Just have a
nearly every
very
day,
specific skill set.
and hearing the horror stories of the creatures that wander throughout the night, or throughout the forest, I have no desire to set foot in that forest.
Stay, but understand that the risk is for us lives. There are ships out there that we might be able to get, but the risk if you stay is your life, just the same as if you were in the jungle.
I'm going to follow wherever you guys wish. You are my crew, and a captain cannot let his crew defend him. So, if heading south is where we have to go, then that is where we will go.
I think you're welcome to stay if you want to stand with your crew. You're our captain. No, we won't have you. You're the captain. You decide.
I will simply caution that if it looks like things are going south, which they may be liable to do, that this isn't your ship, Captain. You don't have to go down with it.
Well, I do appreciate that. But I've grown to have a bond with these three. And while the five of you have not been here for a number of days, we do think of all of you as family. We are brothers and sisters in arms. You are all part of my crew. And I am going to do my best to see that all of us make it off this island and back to our normal lives.
I look at Ezra with like a slight wink and say, family, huh?
Ezra's going to look over. Akare, you mentioned more than once. Do you often see villages burn?
On a rather, I try to roleplay as a stoic face of Akari. You see the eyebrows kind of dour. No, I don't. Just mine.
Well, let us ensure that history does not repeat itself. If these tieflings are family, as you say, then I would feel safer there with them than here.
I think that's the end goal. Let's see what we can do for everyone else caught up in this first.
If need be, I am a bit quicker, more silent than the other three. If you need someone to stay behind, I can, how you say, make it seem as if I turned sides.
That's a big gamble, but if you're willing to risk it, it could prove extremely useful. Why don't you do us all 8 of us a favor, and let's everybody here recognize here and now that it seems like she's doing that. It's because she's made that choice, and it's for our benefit. So play along, because that could be our ace in the hole.
As Berger has said, our time here has been... We've been well taken care of. The townspeople have provided Stradmule and Thadmule at least. Anything they've asked for, they think of them as gods. They are their saviors, the ones who are going to get them off this island and back to their families. But I haven't for one day, since they came and introduced themselves, trusted those 3 that call themselves the leaders of this tribe.
Yeah.
There is something off-putting about them.
I still hold the belief that they were the ones commanding our god, not Gilfoy. So let's get Gilfoy, shall we, and start this shebang.
I will.
You think he is one that we can trust?
Either he's someone we can trust, or he's the first one to go. I hate to pin him like that. I hate to pin him like that because so far I like the guy, misled though he may be. But you got to throw the hat and see where it lands, and he's the first. So I will go and see if I can fetch Gilfoy.
Are you fetching him or going to him?
I'm going to him and requesting that he returns to the tent with us for a conversation.
Is it late at night at this point?
Hey? No, it's still daytime.
It's like 1 p.m.
Okay, gotcha.
Maybe.
Oh, because we...
It's
That's
early,
right, my time's all
yeah,
confused.
early afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone's welcome to come, but I'm just trying to expedite things here. I will go and see if I can get Gilfoy on an agreement to come and talk with the rest, the 8 of us. Or 9? Wait, there's 9 of us. 1, 2, 9. You're right.
Okay, so you head over to his tent, walk out the back flap of his tent where you can see he is dressing, kind of filleting meats off of the deer from this morning.
Okay. I'll
over.
mosey up and start helping him out.
Okay. Just make a general survival check for me.
I've got this memorized. It's +5. Ho, 17.
Fairly easily, you cut off some nice, like, basically deer steaks. Nice slabs of venison.
The group and I were wondering, as I kind of carve away at one of these deer, doe, whatever they are, buck, whatever. If you would spare a bit of time prior to the meeting, we wanted to have a conversation, the 9 of us.
Oh, well, I haven't even gone to talk to anyone yet. I don't even know if they're free for meeting, but...
All the better. It's an invitation. So you don't have to accept if you don't want to, but we are wishing to speak with you.
Well, I have time. We could finish dressing here. If you don't mind helping me, we could finish up and head that way.
Certainly. I will help him finish dressing up the deer, and we'll that way.
Okay.
And I suppose it's not long that I duck into the tent with Gilfoy and tow.
Yep.
Cool. Does anyone want to take the helm on this one? I've been talking too much for all of us.
I can do that. As he comes in, I say, Gilfoy, how are you?
Fine. This is a bit ominous, meeting all 9 of you at once in your tent.
Be at ease. We bring you here because we trust you, but admittedly we have a difficult thing to discuss, and we'll keep an open mind, if you don't mind.
Looks at you kind of like half-cocked and like a little confused.
It's going to be a long process to explain it in full, so try if you can to reserve your thoughts for the end.
I will step between him and the back or the entrance to the tent.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, if there's the back of the tent, I'm the 1/3.
Kind of motions over his shoulder, noticing Kothar kind of stepping between him. You know, if one didn't know better, I'd think that this was not going to end well for me.
It's going to end exactly how you decided would end, Gilfoy. If
kind of like reaches down and puts his hand on his blade at his side. And how is that going to end?
I'll grab his hand, not like violently, but I'll like comfortingly put my hand on it and say, there is no need to hasten this. Just
if he tries anything, can I hold person for him, or can I not do that?
So you could hold it for essentially one round, which is 6 seconds, and then you'd have to re-hold it again and again and again.
Yeah.
So you just have to call for it whenever it happens, but his reaction might go before your spell does.
It's okay,
The other-
Kita. You'll beat him in initiative. It's fine.
Then I won't worry about it.
But I'll put my hand on his arm and say, please, it is a precaution. This is an important conversation and we are taking our precaution. Understand this. You are not in danger. Just speak with us.
Kind
And I
of
will-
slowly lets his hand away from his blade.
Regardless, there's no use waving it around, not with the 9 of us. But you can trust us not to be reckless. And I will start to explain. I will specifically not mention Sangara and our relationship with Sangara. Or, unless I should. Did we discuss this?
No.
So I'm not going to mention our relationship with Sangara. I'm going to say we discovered a demon in the woods with Aragod, and we interrogated Aragod as he was dying. We're not going to say we tortured him. And he revealed that Udella Fawn was responsible for his orders.
Can you mention the arrows?
And yes, I will also mention that the arrows were fletched. The Aragod's arrows were found on Kothar and his, I believe, fellow crewmates in the cave.
I will lay out the fletching kit and one of the arrows from the cave as evidence per se.
At the mention of Aragod's demise, you can see a like singular tear fall from Gofroy's face.
Yep.
I helped raise that boy.
He picked his fate to kill Froy. We are sorry for what it's worth, but it was a matter of life or death. And we had to do it to protect
You said
ourselves.
Udelafon ordered him to do it. What proof do you have? The man's a great leader. He's kept us safe. He's kept the dragons at bay.
We have only what Aragod said.
So then you have no proof. Then why should I believe you? How do I know you didn't just murder one of my own and I'm not here to be the next?
I mean, we were
Because-
hoping you would come with us to Udolafon to sort the truth out.
He makes a good point, though, that we have no proof. But the sword, Kothar, this is not something we had
Yes.
when we left. This sword, even an idiot could see that this is not something minor. This is a powerful, hellish weapon, and it did not operate. We did not rip this from the spine of a dinosaur. This was crafted in the hells, and somehow we have it.
Roll a persuasion check.
I have one. Well, real quick, I'll double onto that. I have one other thing for your consideration as I motion towards Aragod's kit. I do have his bow, but it's not relevant to this actually, so I won't bring it out. I will ask him. Do any of your other hunters follow this same pattern? And my question to you primarily is, Aragod had a very specific kit that he used in your presence and the rest of Trasana's presence. He's switching when he's working with this group. Have you ever seen it amongst your other hunters? Have you ever seen it on Aragod?
Persuasion check was a 23, by the way.
I can't say that I have. As I said,
Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, insight check on the whole thing. Sorry, continue.
As I said, whenever we had our previous conversation, each hunter is responsible for creating their own arrows. I simply outsourced mine to some of the lower ranking hunters due to being so busy here in town. He looks kind of peers over his shoulder at Kothar. If my men are indeed responsible for your men's deaths, then I have no words, but have my utmost regret and apologies.
I appreciate it. I can see that you're sincere in your words. I understand we've come in here and have made bold and brash claims, and from an insider's perspective, we're simply outsiders who look like we're attempting to usurp the village. But know that I do intend to, and I believe the rest of my party would agree with me here. We would simply like answers from Udalafon on what is the nature of this relationship, and then I would still love to get all of you off of this island.
I too would love to get off this island. And I'd like to say that at least half the village here that would too like to return home. I know quite a few of us have been here for a long time. Although some have created
Are we telling them about
families.
the alternative? Is that a thing we did?
What?
Did we tell them about the alternative? The ships more in the harbor or more in the cove?
No,
We haven't
you're
told them
not
yet. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I kind of missed the transition there, but did we get resolution on the persuasion check with my speech towards him?
Sorry, what was your persuasion check?
It was 23.
Right, so your persuasion check was him kind of starting to believe you.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I did have it real quick while we're doing
Yeah,
dice
your
rolls,
your insight check.
Did have the insight. It was 18, and I believe the nature of the question was, trying to gauge his surprise, or mostly his surprise at Aragot having 2 fletching kits, 2 different things that he basically loadouts that he ran with depending on what he was doing, and if he's seen it on any other hunters. And he answered that, so I wanted to insight that.
Yeah, so he hasn't seen it on anyone else.
Okay.
Seems like new information to him. Like, has no idea what
Gotcha.
you're talking about.
Sorry, I know we're doing timey-wimey dice roll shit, but
You're good.
welcome
You're
to
good.
Dungeons and Dragons, I guess.
As I said, I too want to get off this island, and right now, your 2 dwarven friends, as emotions to Stradmule and Thadmule, who are holding hammers in each hand, they're the only ones that are going to get us off this island at the current. Well, I think more than half the village does want to go. The other half has, well, found family here and a life that they somewhat enjoy, and I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to stay, and more power to them. But as far as if Gelafon has struck some sort of deal and is summoning demons to the island, my only inkling is that in years past, Udalafon and Xavier and Loel, they make a trek to the village to the east. And they simply tell us that they make negotiations so that the dragons do not bother us here.
Bitch.
If he's summoning demons, perhaps that's his hand, how he keeps the dragons at bay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not one to speculate. I don't know. I have not seen or heard, for that matter, of any such matter until you all brought it up.
Son of a bitch. Real quick recap, Kothar, because I know you just got back. Gilfoy here just told us that 3 leaders that we currently are extremely sus of take a trip to the city to the east. I believe Ophelia is his name.
Yeah, Ophelia.
To make an agreement to keep the dragons away. So they're wrapped up in that shit too. So just so you know, Zach / Kothar.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Dougie.
No, it's
Yours
okay.
is
I saw you walk out of the room, so. Well, whatever agreement it is they're making is probably not one we'd want to continue, but perhaps can be renegotiated. But whatever that agreement is, I believe, Guilfoyle, you would agree, needs to stand for whoever isn't leaving Tristana on the boat.
That
Renegotiated or whatnot, but
that is what I was insinuating. Is that while if Udelafon is wrapped up in this and somehow corrupted Aragod, and he just kind of like wipes another tear away from his eye, if he somehow corrupted him and brought him into whatever dark rituals he's performing, the least I can say is if Udelafon is no longer here, then who's to say that everyone left in the village won't be turned into dragon food by the end of the day?
I Thane looks towards everyone real quick and I say, I'm sorry, but this does need resolution. And I look at Guilfoyle and say, what is your personal experience with the tieflings from Singara?
We've had minor confrontations with them. It's more or less they fighting over hunting grounds. I've never had we've never came to blows, but there have been various hunting parties that have gone missing. As I said, we're missing one now currently, and well, they're always reported that the savages to the south are to blame.
And
do you?
But you've
upon
never
hearing-
seen them.
Oh, on.
But you've never seen them yourself take prisoners, or
Well, I
you've
mean,
never found prisoners yourself.
there was the time not too long ago when they attacked the village, but we sent them home packing. Luckily, we didn't have very few casualties that day, but they did.
Guilfoyle, I have it's just a suspicion, just a claim, no evidence. But I have a feeling your 3 hunters, like us, learned more than they were supposed to, but didn't manage to make it out into the scrap. Because if they can't be fooled like you were, then they need to be killed like we were almost.
I sincerely hope not. They were good men.
Good men who possibly learned too much, just like the sailors in that cave.
Perhaps you're right.
The continuing my thought, I'm going to be perfectly blunt with you, Guilfoyle. I'm aware of the conflict and the hostility, but I feel like the reasons for it may be mutual, but regardless, at this point, I need to ask you to find a way to make it stop.
I mean, the issue is we have to send hunters south because the food that the game that we hunt for up here north becoming less and less. There's not enough to go around, so we have to venture out, and we can't venture to the east. Whether as we trespass on the elven lands, it is forbidden by the leaders here. But few of the foragers venture out that way, but they do it at their own risk. If we're found hunting on the lands to the east, then we might lose our safety.
Go for it. Between the missing hunters and this not encroaching upon the east, these are all things you hear from the 3 that are now in question of their trust. I don't know how much stock I'd put in anything that they've told you.
I am questioning some things that they have told me, but they have protected us, and it's hard to not trust someone who's taking care of you for so long.
I understand. It's a lot of context I'll never have.
There are simply too many red flags for me to ignore what you have all told me, and it is making me question my loyalties. But at the same time, what am I to do? If I don't send my men to hunt to the south and encroach on the tieflings where they live, how do I feed the rest of the village? If I send my men to the east and they break whatever pact that Udelafan has set and the dragons come, well then we're all dead. No matter which way you spin it, people end up hurt or people end up dead.
I suggest you speak with the tieflings of Sengara.
I
But
myself?
Yeah, you.
I promise you that what your hunting parties are doing while they are near Sengara is not hunting for game. Your hunters are committing murder on their forays.
You have the trust and respect of your hunters, do you not, Gilfoy?
Like to think so.
And every day to day, their activities are by your order.
I direct them where to go, yes.
You have more context and more respect from them because of their day-to-day dealings with you than the three figureheads who only make themselves seen for feasts. We're asking you, Gilfoy, to leverage that trust with what you now know and try to find an agreement, a resolution, a peaceful understanding for a conversation you've never had the chance to have with Sangara. But now you know it's possible.
If you think talking to the tieflings to the south is what needs to be done, then I will venture with you. We can speak with them together.
Another 3 days, baby. Let's go. I don't know. We have like 4 different plans brewing here.
I do not believe that myself leaving the village is wise. It will raise suspicion, as I am normally needed here to direct and oversee the gathering of the food. I'm a little lost, I have to say.
I don't know, Scoob. This is a big web of fucking shit. Like, I guess we just let's go kill a tribal leader.
Bane, what is your preferred next step? Since this,
Yeah, it's going in circles. I mean,
If you say that my men are committing murder down south, I can delay them going there for a few days, but a week at most.
If it was my preference, we would kill you, Delafon, end whatever deal he has, and you could hunt in the east. But it's not that simple. Gilfroy, if we could get the other ships, your focus would not have to be on Rasana. We could get you away from here.
What do you mean by other ships?
Was this not mentioned?
No.
No.
We weren't mentioning it.
Oh,
yeah, in total.
if we said
yeah,
if we
we
said
could.
that if we said that we weren't mentioning it, then I wouldn't have brought it up. I'm sorry, I didn't think that
Okay.
was. I thought it had been mentioned in the conversation.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I guess if we all go to the side real fast or whatever. I genuinely think offering that up frees up Gilfroy and everybody wants to leave Trasana from a lot of responsibility. And like, yeah, half your tribe leaving, piss off the 3 leaders, but like, I think that's a chip we should place on the table.
Unless he decides to keep his loyalties, they screw us over, attack us, and go for the 6 themselves. I think that's a very large piece of ammunition.
Fair point.
For someone who hasn't aligned themselves with you yet.
Well, let's talk about this objectively. What's the downsides of just killing Udelafon?
Killing Udalafon implies we have to face the other 2 leaders. So, assuming we can kill them, which, sure, let's say it's an even fight, and we come out on top. Gilfroy is now one of the ones in this tribe with the most respect, right? We have either pissed off Trasana because we killed people who they worship for some stupid fucking reason, or we explain the truths and they buy it and we're like saviors, right? If we kill Delafon and they have some sort of standing agreement with the elves that keeps Zeltroy away, then we've just killed the only thing that keeps Zeltroy away, and he comes and burns the village in a week. I don't know.
When do Udelafon and his people take their trip to the Ophelia to make their deal?
I wrote that down.
They normally make their trek during the double full moon.
Yep.
So it's the same timeline. We lose our protection at the same time that Zeltroy goes into the woods to sleep.
Okay,
so
fair
it
point.
effectively changes nothing.
Fair point. Yeah, assuming they're not like, I mean, this is metagaming, but assuming they're not like scrying on the fuckers every day or whatever. But yeah, we lose our protection at the same time. Shit. I mean, honestly, if you guys want to go fucking fuck those 3 up, I'm okay with it. Because this conversation is gonna run in circles for 10 years. I don't know what else to do.
Are you saying all this in front of Gilfroy still?
I imagine we were off to the side, and I'm obviously not talking as a Kare because that would take 10 years because he talks slow and flat-panned or
Always
deadpan.
punch him and knock him out, and we could take it with us.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll ask, throw us a bone, Matt. Breger, Ezra, Fabno have any fucking ideas? Oh, okay, that's fine.
I can't help but overhear and listen to your conversation simply because I'm being held here against my will, but...
You're not, but go ahead.
If you wish to take out the 3, I sincerely hope that you don't, because I don't want to see my friends burnt to the ground. I would caution a word of warning. The priestess, Loel, and Xavier, the tiefling men with them, are extremely powerful arcane users.
Well, we have 1 or 2 of those as well. I don't think caution is going to do us any good unless you're telling us that tangling with this person will cast us into the Astral Sea and TPK our party, which would be a good warning to have. But if they are powerful, do you think they are out of our reach?
They do things that I myself do not fully understand, and I can't judge the 5 of you simply because I have not seen you fight. But if I had to say with just a simple look over, then yes, it would not be a fair fight. One thing I can say is that if your simple worry is about people being killed to the south, I can keep my people to the north for a time being, but it'll only go so long until people start to notice that there's a food shortage.
Okay, here's a stupid idea. I'm just gonna say it real fucking fast because we're getting kind of caught up in circles here. Gilfroy ain't leaving, okay? But he believes in what we're saying, and we sort of trust him. The boats are a possible resolution to our boat problem that has to do with deforestation. If the shipwrights leave, they're not building any more boats. Like their reason to chop down lumber is fucking gone because they don't have shipwrights to build a boat. So we take Breger, Ezra, Stradmiel, Thadmiel with us. We run south to Sangara. Gilfoy stays here. He tries to deal with the. Honestly, it's gonna be hellfire. They're gonna send shit our way, but we use them to fortify Sangara. And the time that we've lost building the very base, the under bow of this ship, like I'm imagining like a fucking 16th of a ship is done. We can literally just like blow up a ship and take its front end, and we're already there. Because I guess we're not fighting these 3 leaders until we find some way to tackle them better. It's what I'm hearing. I don't know, guys. I'm getting a little frustrated myself because we're really talking ourselves in circles here.
I at this point I have no fucking clue, and I don't. That's better than the next option, which is nothing.
I mean, I want to take these fucking 3 guys on, but we
Apparently,
probably are going to lose.
We're probably going to die if we, according to what
There's
Gilfoy
too many
says.
politics in it for us to handle because we don't have the trust of Tristana.
No,
I wish we could, man. I really fucking do. That's the thing I want to do, but it's
I mean, not yet, but we could.
Yeah, but these people are gonna suffer while we're gone, and that pisses me off. But
Yeah.
what can you do? You know.
Maybe we just go take a trip into the woods, not to put it lightly, but fuck off for a while, let people die, and then maybe something changes in the meantime. I have no fucking clue.
I mean, yeah, dissension will rise from within. It's gonna happen if people start acting up.
I am not convinced that it will. If these people have been held under sway for 20 years by these 3, I doubt something will change.
Well,
we need something good behind our
their
name
hope
then.
of a ship out of here has just moved to the one place that they've been told is extremely lethal and can't be trusted, and it's
that
full
will
of
be
savage tieflings.
And that will be our fault, and we will have lost the trust of the people.
I know.
So we will guarantee that the people will not trust us.
I still think we should just tell the people of the town here, even if we don't cause a fight, we allow ourselves to potentially build our numbers and weaken themselves. If we could get some of the people from the town back our party and get back to the tieflings, we would have a substantial force. No, we might not be able to take these people all together, but if we bolster our numbers, we can. And it gives these people the choice which they deserve to at least know what's happening.
Well, if we need the people on our side, if we need them to trust us, we need something good behind our name. So what if we did something good? What if we helped the forest, help their food shortage? Then they'd have a reason to trust us at all.
I don't know.
I'm not of a huge mind.
I don't know.
I very much appreciate what you're saying, Kidai, but I'm not overtly inclined to help very hard around here when we don't know who all's involved. What if the whole town is corrupt and we're sitting here helping them?
Right.
Then we've wasted half of a day debating anyway. I'm of half a mind we go in there, we try to kill them, we try to settle this right here, right now, because
there's literally nothing we can do that will help our cause. I don't think, except for metagaming and going to level up 6 times. I think we just go and we do something about it, because what else can we fucking do?
Unless you can convince the entire town of
you're not
to come with us.
Discussion. It's not happening.
No,
they've been described as like worshipped figureheads. It's not happening.
No, I meant not Tristana. Fuck Sangara. Unless we can get all of Sangara to come with us on a warpath, we just fucking let's do it.
We tried that. And
it didn't work.
It was a hard no sell from them.
I'm going to storm out of the tent and start yelling for all of the people to come outside.
Oh boy. Oh, there we go. There's our answer. That's what we're doing. Let's do it. We're committed now. Yep. Fuck it.
No one's
Let's do
stopping her?
something. Nah.
No.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't want to talk for another hour.
And action.
I just.
Yep. No, it's okay. This is D&D,
Okay.
baby.
Okay. Perfectly fine.
Fuck it. I'll join her. It's like,
You know what? I'll join her too.
yeah.
I'll go
Fuck
out.
it.
And I will, before I do though, I will take, very quickly, I will find the nearest piece of tent cloth and I will cut 12 strips. While they're yelling, in the few minutes while they're yelling, I will cut 12 strips of, like, tent strip, like good, thick strips that I could roll up and stick in these jugs.
You making a flag? Are we declaring a revolution? with a
No,
flag
he's
here?
making a
Molotov
fucking
cocktail.
Molotov cocktail.
Oh, that's right. He's got 12 bottles of jungle juice.
And
You have 10. I have 2.
I will put it in and then put the lid over it so that they're soaking, so that the cloth is soaking liquor
Oh man.
while we're waiting, and then I'll carry the jug out with me.
This is
the jug.
exactly
Okay.
Picard. I don't want to see another village burn, man. This guy. This is what we're doing. All right, we're gathering the whatever public response to a bunch of fucking
Okay,
I'm
idiots
just
walking down the
walking
street.
around
yelling.
town, like making all the loudest sounds I can, yelling, "People of Tristana!"
Okay, I mean, you get a few varying people looking your way.
And I'm gonna like motion and call for people to like come here.
I mean, some people start to gather, other people just kind of keep going about their business and doing their work.
Well, then I'm gonna scare them into coming here.
I will.
Not in like an I'm gonna fucking kill you
Hey,
way.
you over
Like,
there by the
some
tanning rack.
horrible harm will befall you if you.
I
don't
will
do what
say,
say.
you over there by the tanning rack.
Hmm.
Wipe that baby food off your face and get to the town center with the rest of your family.
I will look at Kidai.
Like an intimidation check.
Absolutely, I will make an intimidation check. Also, I've been wanting to use the term baby food all fucking day in D&D for an intimidation.
Kidai, do you have thaumaturgy?
I'm actually gonna take a picture of this shit.
No.
It's a natural 20 plus 1, 21.
Okay.
Uh,
The man just looks at you, quickly gets up, runs, grabs his family, and
Fuck
gathers them.
And anyone else you know?
Druidcraft does create a harmless sensory effect, and I do believe it can be fire. So, can I light buildings on fire that aren't actually
No.
burning?
No, not that.
Oh
Uh,
no.
I will.
They shouldn't burn. It's harmless.
I will. I was more looking for a loud voice, but I will just join and say, when I go out, I will say, "Grave danger is upon Trasana. We need to share the news. Meet us in the center. Grave danger is coming. It must be shared."
Make a persuasion check. God damn it.
Extra, read all about it.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of newsies
That's a
walking around.
24.
Woo, baby.
After about 10 minutes of you guys walking around yelling in town, Kothar, I assume you're still holding Gilfroy semi-hostage in the tent?
Oh shit.
Or did you join
No,
them?
he's.
And fire, Dan. And fire.
Shit. I mean, wait. Well, I guess as we all left, did Gilfoy like split off from us, or?
That's what I'm asking. Did somebody hold him in the tent, or did? Or
I
did he
will. After they leave and the tent's empty, I'll look at Gilfroy. Gilfroy, you're a man at the sea. You know as much as I do. You have to make your own destiny. And I'll walk out and I'll join my friends.
stay? Okay. He'll slowly walk out. He's just kind of watching from a distance as the crowds begin to gather around all of you, and they're all just kind of like whispering and muttering amongst themselves about what's going on. What are they talking about? What are we doing? And one man's like, I don't know. I was threatened. I just want my family to be okay.
I'm going to push Bane to the front of the group of people, and then listen to what this man has to say. Party face.
I'll look back. And I will call out. And I will say, "People of Trasana, you have been lied to. I hate to be the one to bring this news, but we have discovered evidence that your leadership has betrayed you. They cut a deal with the dragon. And in exchange, they sold their souls
to Hellspawn. They parley with Hellspawn. And I'll take Kothar's blade out and I'll hold it high. Look, the weapon of the Hells, found. We know not why, but we know that they work to subvert the people of Trasana. They hide away while Gilthroy works to protect you actively. They hide away, they make deals with devils, and they have lied to you. We come as outsiders. We have no need to lie to you. We want to be off this island, but Eudelafon is actively working to hurt you all. And this must be known. Eudelafon must be stopped, lest he sacrifice all your souls to the Hells and to Zelfroy.
You hear them make a deception check?
I wasn't lying.
I mean, not all what you said is stuff that you know to be true. Okay, make a
Then
persuasion
I go back
check.
and I retcon everything that I said that wasn't true.
I would have been keeping an eye out for any of the three leaders. Very keenly.
I'm getting to that.
17.
17. Okay. There are quite a few people that just like almost burst out in laughter at your what you're saying, and there's others that begin to whisper and mutter. Oh. Give it a second.
Well, I guess it's time for swords out. It's
They can still hear when they do that, unless I'm mistaken.
yeah.
So, they begin to exchange various different words. You hear people whispering and muttering. People be talking about, like, what is he talking about? And people are talking about, like, Hellspawn. What would Hellspawn be doing here? And other people are like, well, whatever's keeping the dragons at bay, let's keep doing it. And just, like, varying different answers of all kinds of different nature. And then as the people begin to split apart, almost like the sea parting, you can see walking down towards you a tall human man dressed in a long flowing robe with a staff across his back that has a massive crystal affixed at the top. At either side of him, you can see there is a red tiefling man and a almost olive-colored skin ASMR woman. Now, what is all this about me being a demon spawn? Summoning the demons? All I have done is protect my children. I've protected my home.
I will say.
Who are
I
you?
will yell out
Outsiders.
over him, and I will say, outsiders with fresh perspective. Eregod was found
Outsiders
in the
with
presence
false
of a Hellor.
information.
You may accuse us of that, but it is your word against ours. And we found Eregod.
And you think my people
with a
are going to
Hellor.
believe you over me?
I'm not letting them. I'm gonna say we found Eregod in the presence of a Hellorc wielding this blade in the forest, and he revealed your name, Eudelafon.
So you found a man with a blade. So you say.
Then reveal your secrets, Eudelafon. For all the dangers you speak of Ophelia, why do you go there? Why do you treat with Ophelia?
To keep my people safe, like any good leader would.
And why is it that you don't treat with the people of Singara, who seem to pose no threat whatsoever?
Savages who attack my village? Why would I ever treat with them?
False lies.
And
Told
what
by
proof do you have?
None other than yours.
Because everyone here saw the atrocities that happened years ago when they all attacked our village.
Then why is it that we stand here before you today when we have spent the night with them? Not in the biblical sense. And
What do you mean you spent the night with... Of course you spent the night with them. Look, you have one of them among you.
even if
And
we
you
had
have
not
one
been
of them
there, we
among
would have
you.
been welcomed with open arms.
Do you see wings upon my friend's back?
I did not come to this island 20 years ago. I landed on this island 1 week ago.
Again,
Just because my race is the same does not mean I had any prior connections to these people.
it's your word against mine. And why
Reveal
should my
yourself.
people believe a word you say?
Then use your arcane. Cast Zone of Truth on us.
Don't
Or
really know
read our
that Zamira would
thoughts.
know what Zona of Truth is. That's pretty
Well,
metagamey.
Not
It's
the,
so funny you said that. I was just looking it up.
Yeah, I wish I had it.
Sorry.
use your magic to tell if we're lying or not. Use our magic to read our thoughts.
don't
I
need to
don't
read your
think-
thoughts. I know you're lying.
Only a coward would say that.
If we're lying, then
So-
why did we find this at the scene of an
DM,
actual demon from the hills? And I will
I-
chuck the monk's robe into the center of the town square.
at the same time, I will draw the Umber Bow and draw shadows, not towards me, DM, if you'll allow this, just reaching out across the ground to the two of them?
Three of
The,
them.
the third isn't there, just the two?
No, all three of there.
All reaching out across the ground, almost like veins and vines. I will concentrate the shadow of this Umbra bow to them, and I will say, Gilfroy has so much trust in Aragod, and you led him to ruin with this, as the vines reach out towards the three of them.
At the sight of that, Udelafon will speak again. Look, my fellow villagers, my fellow brothers, my sisters, my children. They speak of Hellspawn, but yet they bring the shadows of another plane to our realm. They bring a blade of hell. And look, they've even murdered one of our own.
You mistake. We bring the refuse and the ruin of people whose lives you've controlled and you have ruined. Make it clear and evident. Matter of fact, I believe two of your own hunters stumbled across the refuse of a battle in which we took these items as proof, and I will throw Aragod's fletching kit onto the ground as well as it kind of unfurls out with multiple, I assume at this point, unfamiliar fletching to everybody in Tristana.
So, you say you found Aragod with a Hellspawn. You say he blames me for it. You say that our hunters stumbled upon it, but didn't find you there. They said brought back no word of finding you or any sign of this. All of this sounds like a lot of hearsay.
Know who we could trust. Until we spoke to Gilfroy.
You can keep your lies. We just wanted to inform your people of who they were really following. If they choose to stay with you after we've shown them what we know, that's on them.
What makes you think they're going to believe a word you say? You've brought no proof.
I don't know, you keep speaking for them. Why don't you let them have a word? Let them ask the questions.
By all means. My people, ask your questions of these fools who think that they can sway your minds. And they all just kind of like start muttering amongst themselves. You can hear them questioning what they know. They're like, isn't that so-and-so's robe? Isn't that Gilfroy's old bow? Why do these people have it? And you hear people muttering, did these people murder Gilfroy? Did these people murder Aragod? Did these people... Is what they're saying true, or is what... There's mixtures of emotions and questions throughout the group.
I got nothing.
DM,
Yes.
how far am I from them?
You said you threw the thing into the center. I suggest you're on the... Or from the three, or who?
I
Three of
imagine...
them.
Yeah, I kind of imagined us on a little pedestal thing where I threw the fletching kit down and it kind of unfurled.
You guys are kind of in the town square next to that big brazier that you saw, but
Brazer's in Singara. What?
there's one here as well.
Oh, okay.
Not nearly as large as the one in Singara. You know, this one's a normal-sized one, but
Big brazier territory. Miles. Everybody's
you're
got big braziers around here.
30, 40 feet, not very far.
Chokar.
Gilfroy kind of walks forward. People of Tristana, I'm hesitant to speak up because Udelafon and the others have protected us, but the overwhelming evidence of what they say is... It troubles me. And I beg of all of you to double think before you cast out what they say as false lies. I too have my doubts of some of the things they say. Aragod was almost a child to me, and while he wasn't smart, I can't believe that he would get wrapped up in matters of an infernal nature. But I see no reason for there to be violence here today, and I do not believe what these five all are saying is to all be lies, if any.
Gilfoy, you shouldn't speak about him like that. Whether or not the people of Trasana accept the truth, Aragod was your son. Up until the very moment when people decided they controlled him.
We came here not for violence, but to share the truth. But we will fight for our cause. Because we believe it wholeheartedly.
But we're not going to fight. We're not going to fight
I
today.
didn't mean that
We're
today.
we're
I'm
going
not
to
saying
believe
we're
in our
going to
cause.
fight. I'm saying we believe in it enough to fight over it.
No, that's not it either. We don't believe in.
Oh no. It's a disaster here.
Adelphon kind of speaks up. Guards, remove those five from my village. And a whole platoon of guards with spears drawn start to encircle all of you.
As soon as a guard approaches me, I assume trying to either grab my oh shit. What's the muscle in the back of your arm? Not your bicep.
They're
Tricep.
not actively trying to grab you. They just have spears out
Yeah.
pointed towards you.
I will cast Zephyr Strike upon myself. And looking back at Udella, I will say, not 5. 9. 9. You didn't mishear me.
Make an intimidation check.
Not very good at
Can I
these.
flex and then give him advantage?
I was gonna say, would a bear help?
A bear could
might
help.
I don't know about I don't know about a
I thought
flex.
elk first,
Have you
but
seen
you
these
stepped in
guys?
front.
You going bear? Does that help?
Oh, tap
Or does
my
that not help?
cheek.
Are you going?
Bear or elk? Do you want me to
I have
block them from
rolled
you?
1 dice. For the record, I have rolled 1 dice. So
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do bear.
bear.
You would take advantage.
Yeah, that'll scare the fuck out of the people at Trasana. Okay, I didn't roll any better, but thank you, Kidai. 18 plus 1. That's a intimidation. 18.
Yes.
Best
I
I
step
can do.
between
The people that
my
are kind of on
friends
the
and guards.
outskirts of the guards, just watching what happens here, scream, and a few of them even run back. Look, they've aligned themselves with the druids already.
Bear flips him off.
She came here, Druid.
Let me make it evidently clear. When we build the ship, or ships, if we can manage it, without the reign of Thon here, and their cronies, anyone who's willing and welcome, and wishes to leave, is invited. But we're doing it on our terms.
And we will leave this town with everyone that we showed up with.
As
No.
a full group of 9.
Guards,
I kind of
escorts,
I want to cast a glance at Stradmount Avenue. What are they doing?
they are gathering all of their tools. They're like outside. They are like outside your guys' tent, off in the distance, grabbing everything they can. While no one is looking, they are definitely going all sticky fingers.
Man, I wasn't expecting your sticky fingers all of a sudden.
Guards, then escort the 9 of these individuals out of our village. We have no need for their boat. I simply was trying to return some of you home. Villagers, if you wish to go with them and die in the woods, so be it. But your safe haven will always be here.
I think we sort of won there. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys.
As
I think we like quarter version. Like we got 25% win.
as we leave,
I don't know.
as we get directed, I'm assuming vaguely near Udalafon. I want to stop. And I'll have a spear run through me if it happens. I don't really give a shit.
No, I'm blocking them.
No, it's fine. I'll stand there next to Udalafon. Does the name Onyx Whisper mean anything to you?
Doesn't give any response.
Not even a facial muscle?
There's some facial muscle movements. He looks at you. Doesn't give a response.
Onyx.
If I found out that was you responsible, there's not anywhere on this island you can hide from me. I will feed you to Zeltroy personally, and I'll keep walking.
As you're walking away, you can hear him call out into your mind with his telepathy. Who says I'm hiding? And he turns around and starts to walk the opposite direction.
Motherfucker. I do want to... I know we're kind of playing loosey-goosey here. And before Kothar does anything crazy, if he's going to do something crazy, I would like to, as I walk past Gilfroy, just give him solid eye contact and a nod.
As you guys are escorted out of the village, not moments later, if you don't immediately walk away, you've noticed there are roughly 20 villagers, including Gilfroy, that have joined you.
Very well. We take them in.
We will.
Yeah.
We're getting actually kind of near to nighttime at this point, I assume, right? Or it's mid-afternoon.
It's late afternoon.
It's getting like 6 probably at this time, yeah?
Is it like all adults? Are there children?
There aren't very many children. It's all women and men that look to. Probably you get the sense they're probably, without it talking to each individual person, have all been shipwrecked here either recently or want to go, or finally see their opportunity to go home and don't want to miss it.
Yep. Okay. We take them in, and I guess, guys, do we want to start heading south again?
I think we need to take the long route this time.
Yep. Oh, definitely. Yeah, we're not no shortcuts for the masses here. That's crazy. Not everybody can fly like you, Fane.
I was gonna say I
Could
can't
you
well shape into a
fly
boat.
ahead and let your family know that we're coming with extras.
Kidai, could you send a message to my people?
Yes, I can.
Tell them we are coming with refugees, and if they see a large group of people coming, not to attack.
When we reach the tree line, DM, I want to stop and kind of grab Fane by the triceps, just kind of by the sides. I'm not pleased with how that all went. I really did want to do. I wanted to take them on so much, but these people here now are our responsibility, and I think don't feel like we won. No, we definitely didn't win, but I walk away comforted in this minute victory, and I know it wasn't what you wanted.
In battle, Ricare, not every swing is to kill. Some swings are for position or feints. We swung. We did not stand and cower. We did not kill, but we swung. And we have begun.
I kind of release his triceps or biceps. I'm just basically grabbing his big old meaty arms. As I kind of start to kind of back away a little bit, I'll clap him on the left or on the right shoulder with my left arm, and I'll say, "Yeah, we started something, however small. It's what we could do, but it's what we needed to do."
I would have rather killed them as well, but for
Man,
now
I
this
wish.
will do.
And I will churn, and as I do, I'll guide a A couple of our now tag-alongs along the proper path south.
Looking throughout the group, you do see some familiar faces. You see Elijah and Barrow have joined, as well as Gofroy and Kothar. You see a familiar face of Emmett, carrying his bag of various knickknacks.
Nice.
God, I love our trader.
If I don't need to like RP anything, DM, I would send animal messenger
Sure,
to
what are you telling him?
Fanes. Just that we're on our way. We
Gam
have
Gam?
Okay.
to Gam Gam.
Send a
Uh,
message to Gam Gam.
Gam Gam. That we have about 20 extras more than last time. Well, 24 extras more than last time. And we're headed their way. We're taking the long way this time.
Okay. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, wow, that was rough.
That was rough.
That was very rough, but I think I don't know, it's tricky.
I did not
That
know
would-
where you guys were going to go with that.
That was better than sticking it to Tybix in the Monday campaign. So call it a dub.
Yeah. No, that was really tricky situations. Like, there's so much intertwined here that it's like it's almost like fucking Static Shock in like Frozen to make a decision.
No regrets.
And it's so hard because
No, I think
One regret.
no, Zamira, one regret with Kofar, but Zamira, what you did was exactly what we needed. We needed some shit to move.
Yeah.
I
they
really,
were
for a
fucking
while there, I
around
did
there.
not know how you guys were going to handle that situation.
I didn't know
that
either.
worries me because you didn't know about the Astral Sea thing too, and then it ended up with us dead.
Okay.
I'm getting like a little gun shy about surprising you, Matt.
Hey man, sometimes you just gotta go gung go.
You can surprise me all you want,
Sorry.
but I'm going to roll with how the people would react.
He said gun shy.
You
How'd
gotta
you
go
do?
monk ho.
You did your
The-
best thing.
Oh,
The part of me, like the inside D&D player of me, was like, well, we'll just go steal evidence from his house. But then I was like, that's not fair. There's no
I
way in
mean-
hell.
I might have been able to do with the Umber Bro, but Umber Bro, yes, Umber Bro, and
Umber Bro.
and Pass Without a Trace. Realistically, my role could be in the fucking actual stars, rocket ship emojis. But
Can I say how sad I am that we got level 5 last week and none of us got to use our new second attacks on.
Oh, no.
oh, don't worry, I'm sure now we have to protect a pack of 20 motherfuckers.
Oh, don't you worry. You were about 1/10 of a second away from getting to use your double attack in the middle of town.
Oh, I know.
wanted to punch
I was going to
stuff
end the
so
session
bad.
right there if you did something. I tried to give you the opportunity, but
Man,
I was trying to be the voice of like I wasn't trying to start a fight. I just wanted to be like, hey, this is what's fucking going on.
Hey, bitch!
no, the last conversation between Akari and Fane, like, that was exactly what like it's me speaking as Aiden and as Akari. It's like, man, I really wanted to go do that, but according to everybody we were hearing from, fighting the three of them is a no-go.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
I
just
was
sure
like-
wanted to
In the
punch him, but I
butthole.
knew better than to punch him.
My D&D instincts were like, go fight those dudes. They're the bad guys. But like everything I was hearing was, don't fight those dudes. You'll get killed. And I'm like, well, if we
fine.
probably maybe probably, but if I mean, like Akari said, if we lost doing that, it's the same as jeopardizing everything in the first place. It's
Mhm.
and like that's the worst part about this campaign so far, Matt. Good job, I guess. If that's your
Yeah,
goal.
thank you, Matt.
Yeah, no, good job so far. Like, but man, the decisions are hard to make because there's so much at stake, and we're talking about a singular island with like 3 different factions.
there's a
I-
lot of
I dread stepping out of the larger world when we finally get this boat built. We'll
there's
be
a lot
talking
of
for 2 sessions.
there's a lot of political intertwining bullshit going on in the background.
And then you wonder why it takes us 3 hours to make a decision.
That's not my
Yeah.
fault.
Go ahead,
Sometimes the bad guys just gotta be
Bye-bye.
bad and the good guys gotta be good. I mean, like, you tell me you can't dress up the bad guys like Nazis, how like George Lucas did it in Star Wars?
Do me a favor and make sure that there is like mustaches on all of our enemies from future.
Yeah, just give him those evil twirly thing.
Alrighty, guys, that's all for us tonight. We're gonna go ahead and sign off. You all have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you guys.